Welcome to Game Changer World. My name is John Wolf. Tonight, Frank will be co-hosting alongside with me. How you doing tonight, Frankie?
Oh, I'm just peachy. We got two good shows, two brand new cities to cover tonight that we've never seen on the GCW loops before. And let's see if they deserve that run back one of these days. So
I'll tell you what,
we got a lot of grappling to take care of today.
I'll tell you what, it was really exciting. We didn't know what to expect. You know how it is with debuting cities. We're like, what kind of energy are they going to bring? What size crowd are we going to have? You know, and what's the culture that's coming to the show? Because you'll see, like, especially in the first night in Little Rock, we'll get into it more, but heels were booed like crazy there. And that really says a lot about local booking down there. We're going to talk about that a little later on tonight. But yeah, this is exciting, man. Two new dates. I think one new state. I think Arkansas is new. Missouri is not.
I believe Arkansas is new, yes.
Oh, man.
There's who was it? Chad Mins put the big board graphic out at the beginning of the week. So I think that's going to be a running theme soon-ish, if not already, with the trying to hit all 50. So.
Well, I'm going to say hello to everybody, but I want to start here. James Noder also has given us a super chat before. He says the best independent wrestling podcast going. Keep killing it, fellas. No lie, thank you so much. You know, it really is a group effort. When one isn't here, the next is here, and we have a ton of people, including our West Coast, who's sitting there right now in chat, who is available at all times. It's just the team of four that we have are awesome, and I honestly can't say enough about them.
Yes, thank you. Thank you to Screwball for playing Stat Boy tonight. So if we get anything wrong, please let us know.
And James, thanks again, man. You know how it is. I appreciate you so much. If we find ourselves ever making something, I don't know if there's ever going to be like a sticker or a magnet or something. I'm obviously going to send you one, no charge. That's the least I can do as a thank you, man. Thank you again so much. All right, so let's go back through here real quick. Clown is here. Welcome. Great one. Like I said, our West Coast correspondent. James, Matt, welcome. The Crow Fairy Tale is here. Welcome. Reed Harris is here. I wonder what he's going to say tonight. Ishmael, welcome. Nice to see you in here. Ash,
head of GCW production, Ash. Yep, Missouri was new. Pops is technically in Illinois.
Yep, so, and every one of those venues are like puzzles that Ash has to put together. How much of this, how much of that? And I think he knocked it out of the park both nights. Great job by them. Yes, if there's ever something you ever wanted to say, at least good about presentation, right there's Ash. Nicest man you can ask for, though. I have nothing but positive things to say about him. Okay, do you think we should just go into my little spiel here and we'll get into the news?
Let's get going. We got a lot to cover tonight.
Rock and roll, brother. All right. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell if you want notified when we go live. Super chats are available if you want to donate. Again, thank you so much for those who do donate. Please comment. It's free and does help our algorithm. And as always, thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with us. Sit down and relax. You're amongst friends. We're going to go deep into the night. We have a lot to cover. I do feel this will be a great show. All right. So what do you say? Get ready with the news here.
Let's go.
All right, man. Here we go. On homecoming weekend, August 23rd and 24th, Masashi Takeda makes his return to GCW. Let me give you a couple fun facts here, Frank. He's performed in a total of 24 matches at GCW. 8 of those, exactly 1/3, are within the top 75 greatest matches of all time at GCW, voted on by fans.
Yeah, you can't. I can't imagine why. I cannot imagine why that possibly happens.
4 of those matches out of the 8 I just mentioned are in the top 50, and 2 of those are in the top 25. So I didn't want to go down numbers too much, but I felt like that's kind of interesting. Match number 25 and 26 at GCW will then go down again homecoming weekend.
Well, I mean, he's very fresh in the minds of a lot of the deathmatch chuds, as he was recently just part of the NHB tour while they were out there. So I mean, I know we're a GCW podcast, but I mean, we can't not avoid saying it. It's all deathmatch. We're all part of the same, same
community.
Fraternity of lunatics would be a good way to put it these days. So yeah, I mean, he just fought Duke and Redacted over there. So I mean, like over in Tokyo, while our guys went to Japan. So I mean, when he comes over here, I mean, I can't imagine who I wonder who would put out a tweet with a wish list of wrestlers that Takeda could fight at Homecoming. All right, that's me. I did.
Mhm.
Let's see Bear. Let's see Bear versus Takeda. Let's see Tremont versus Takeda.
Oh,
Let's see Mansour versus Takeda. Let's see Mr. Danger versus Takeda. Let's see Too Tough Tony versus Takeda.
how about Mr. Danger versus Mr. Danger at the Steakhouse? See,
now you're thinking too big. Now you're thinking too big.
I'm just saying, if Action Mike Jackson can do it, I think Mr. Danger can walk the grill, beat the shit out of Mr. Danger. So I don't know if you knew. I'm sure you probably know because you're kind of tapped into everything. But some of the people who are in here might not know that there is a chance or an opportunity they're trying to get where our Mr. Danger at GCW that we see on the regular,
yes,
try to meet up with the original Mr. Danger and maybe get a little nod and a handshake that, hey, it's okay for you to use that name. And I hope we get that on video.
I can only assume that certain people in our community would need that proof and save it and in triplicate and saved it to separate bank vaults and all that. So, well, yeah,
it's beautiful.
Well, I mean, GCW's heading over there at the end of July, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So, I definitely see some give and take. Like something's going to happen in Tokyo, maybe with Takeda, and then Takeda come back and give it back to us in Atlantic City. I could definitely see that happening. That's usually how these things go on these home and away type games. So,
let me do this real quick here. There's a couple things I have to do in chat just because I need to catch up here. I'm going to need GCW to come to Columbia, South Carolina. Oh, I almost said that wrong. I've been to Columbia, South Carolina and the surrounding areas. Beautiful area through there. I really didn't know it was so country, driving deep into there from the coast. For me, country kid, I loved it. Yeah, we could always just yell back and forth to Brett, see if we can maybe get him to get there. But I know that's another one of the states he's got to mark off at some point. Let's see here. We need GCW in Puerto Rico. That would be a wild time. I wonder if that would go down. Are they still throwing batteries and shit down there at the wrestlers?
Yeah, I hope not, but I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility where GCW wrestlers are not afraid of things like that. How many garbage riots have we seen in the last couple of years? So, I mean,
it happens. It happens. But I think if you can survive the Mexican companies, because those are well known for having some of the craziest fans out there. If you can do Mexico, I'm pretty sure you could do Puerto Rico. So I think that's another one that's on the list. We should put it on there, James, just because it's a territory. Well, I don't know. I'm just trying to find a way to
it's not like they don't have a long tradition of their own pro wrestling down in Puerto Rico either.
Exactly. Exactly. It's huge down there. Brandon Gorman, I was in Little Rock. It was an awesome show. Hope GCW. Brandon, we're going to talk about that. I have a feeling that when it comes to the fans holding up their end of the deal, they did their part and then some. Personal opinion.
I believe Brett on commentary specifically already said Little Rock is an A-town. So that is a gleaming endorsement for a return trip. So,
oh man, let me tell you, it took one match, the opening and one match, and I'm like, these fans are on fire. Now, LA fans, we know sometimes they can kind of get gassed around match 6 or 7 and then they pick back up again. So I was wanting to see if maybe this crowd had a downtime. I don't think I heard one. It was just like every match, they were just so keyed into everything.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Let's see here. The Roach, welcome. Good to see you tonight. Dakota Rice, hi from Michigan. I'm originally from Ohio, so fuck the Wolverines. No, Dakota, seriously. No, I love Michigan. It's a great place up there, but I am an Ohio State fan. Oh, yeah. We are deathmatch fans. Do you know any of these? Do you have a We Are Deathmatch fans tonight? Okay, so Brett will do these. Brett will sometimes do these on GCW's Patreon, where he'll kind of say something that strictly only deathmatch fans or fellow chuds will kind of say. Okay. And Yeah, and I'm trying to think of something snappy, and I don't have one. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm lost tonight. That's on me. I apologize.
Damn, I can't think of a good one. Okay, so yeah, saw him here in Detroit, in the chains and GCW. Yep, Danger. There we go. It's my favorite people. Rose, nice to see you tonight here. What else we got? We got the whoop whoops in here, which means we're gonna have some juggalos coming.
Some of those guys.
Soon. Yeah, some of those guys. I love them. Matt Brown, what's up, everyone? Nice to be here tonight. Sucks for trucks. Great name. Hey, that's a way to pay off. That's a way to pay off your loan. You know, Sucks for trucks. That's a cool name, though. I'm sure there's something to that. Great one. GCW in Guam. You know, if they went to Hawaii, they can go to. I think that's like a almost 20-hour plane ride or some shit, though.
Yeah, I think I forgive me because I'm not great with geography, but I think Guam's like closer to like Australia than it is America, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
it's out there. Also, Rose is right. No money in PR. Brett said it a number of times. Yeah, he said that on Patreon during one of his things. So I guess this isn't happening. We're not going we're not going to Iran anytime soon. I don't want to speak for the company. We don't speak for the company, but I'm pretty sure that one's off for the immediate future for right now.
Just a little
Patrick, good to see you. Man, everybody's running in here tonight. It's good to see everyone. All right, so we'll just keep going or else we're going to get locked in here. We're already 15 minutes in. Friday, July 11th at Gillies in Dallas, Texas. JCW World Champion Masha Slamovich versus Elayna Black. Okay, so I'm just going to say that card is wild. Whoever's going to go to Dallas is going to see something amazing. We have Priscilla Kelly there. Tremont will defend his GCW UV championship. Mance versus Ricky Morton. The GCW tag team champs will be there. Young, Dumb, and Price versus Ninja Mack and Dante Leon. If you didn't know, they gelled together really well. They're going to have an awesome team.
Dante and Mack were like, I swear, they fought each other 15 times when they first busted onto GCW.
Yep.
And every time I saw them, like it's not one of those pairings that gets boring. They always have great stuff. They always have great chemistry together. So,
and when it's those two, especially, they wrestle a little bit beyond their years.
Oh yeah,
I've noticed that quite a few times. They were head and shoulders above the competition at, let's just say, their talent range at that time. Just killed it. Matt Cardona versus Shotzi. I'm going to just touch on that for a second. Matt Cardona just recently put out a video where he had went to Shotzi's house, ran her over with her tank and all kinds of other fun stuff. So if you have a chance, maybe check that out. I didn't get the opportunity to pull it up, or I just show it here, but I believe it's going to be on GCW.
And I believe there's one more match that was announced recently that you don't have listed there.
Who's that?
I believe it's Fuego versus Sam I Quit.
Oh geez, yeah. So that's where it's going down, July 11th.
I believe so.
Oh my goodness. We're going to be talking about that one later too. Frankie has a lot of choice words on that match, and there's some good things there. Last GCW World Champion Effy versus Atticus, the match that I think a lot of fans really wanted to see. That's going down. So yeah, Gillies, Dallas, Texas. If you don't have a ticket, you might want to get one. And I'm not kidding. This is the coolest thing. Get someone else to come out with you. You get them to a live show, they're going to love it. If you want someone to always go with you, try to find someone, man, because that's a show that's definitely, cannot miss. On to Friday, August 1st at the Williams Center in Rutherford, New Jersey, Mance Warner versus Bear Bronson. As for Bear, this is one of his 3 dates that he has planned right now with GCW. The others are July 5th and August 23rd. Frankie, you're like me. We're Bronson fans, especially after that match.
Big boy business is going down on the 1st. That is going to be in the words of the immortal JR, that'll be a slobber knocker. That will be the fight to watch that night. I don't care what else is on that card. That's already my match of the night.
Well, I was wondering, because the way, Mance is back and forth right now with companies, that I was wondering if he was going to meet Bear Bronson. Cause after Bear, I was like, damn, there's a whole bunch of people at GCW I'd love to see Bear go through. And Mance was one of the names. I'm like, he needs to go through one of the locker leaders. Like he needs to go through one of the veterans and really be put to the test a little bit. And right there on the big stage at GCW, I think is one of the perfect ways to do it.
Yeah.
Friday, August 1st at the Williams Center in Rutherford, New Jersey. Sorry, August 2nd at Rutherford, New Jersey. We have Kevin Koo. He's going to be returning after his injury. That's going to be an emo fight. So we want to say congratulations to him on his healing, and we're going to be welcoming him back.
And we got another emo fight, and I think there's a live band playing that night too. So
yeah, I think there's going to be a whole thing to it.
Well, I mean, there was music at the last emo fight too. So I mean, the first one in Queens, I forget if there was a band in LA's collective emo fight, but
yeah, they had something back and forth. I felt like someone came out a couple times, or there was another show where someone just came out in the middle, or I don't know.
Listen, they played Black Parade, so I mean that's all that we really care about in the emo fight.
That's the song right there. Let's see here. Someone was asking about Ninja Mack for a minute. Where's Mack been? Would love to see him in danger, do flips and stuff. Yeah, so we saw him in LA. Hopefully we do see more of Mack. He was doing what Reed Harris is saying right here. He was doing Noah for the longest time, and then just recently was in the Battle of the Super Juniors. And that was wild. So let's see. Triple main event for Dallas. I'm just seeing if there's anything else. Yeah, Max back and forth. I'm a huge Ninja Mack fan. One of the 4 people that are always in our crew. Huge Ninja Mack fan. Ninja was the one that got him into GCW. So, here we are. Drink. Frankie said the F word.
Fight me. Fight me.
Yeah, we got that I Quit match. That's going to be great.
I'm in Atlantic City. Fight me. Find me and fight me. Like, come on.
Oh, are you issuing one of those on site?
Come on.
Fucking dude, Frankie's wonderful. You get a chance see him at any of those East Coast shows, go say hi to him. More announcements have been made for Cannonball Fest. So far, we've seen Masha Slamovich, Willow Nightingale, Mike Santana, Mike Bailey, Janela, Matt Tremont, and MJF all announced for that show.
And I believe that will be broadcast live on this very YouTube channel. So,
oh, really?
I saw an announcement. I think, or if it wasn't officially announced, it was mentioned in some comment somewhere that it will be on this YouTube channel. That could change. That could be wrong information. But from what I understand, it's going to be same batch channel. Yeah,
man, that is awesome. Good, because I was hoping that wasn't just going to get lost.
If I'm wrong, I'm going to get an angry yo from somebody sooner or later. So
yeah, waiting for the yo to come in. Jersey Championship Wrestling released another Foxcatcher video today. The video targeted Mara Sade. The bounty is now set at 15K. So this story is continuing. We'll talk about it later, but I was really surprised that they didn't offer 15K up to Mickey when Mickey Knuckles took the main event in Kansas City.
This seems to only be a JCW proper thing.
Never thought of it that way.
Like, I'm not saying in terms of booking wise. I think that storyline wise, but booking wise, of this only seems to be affecting and playing out at JCW proper shows.
Excellent.
And I think that might just be to keep the airwaves clear for the GCW proper storylines, for lack of a better term.
I like that.
So
look, any storyline at JCW that we can have tethers us to the fact that we have more JCW coming down the road. I look at it that way. More stuff to look at.
What show is Marside for? Is that for the 6th, or is that for the August 1st?
Ooh, that's the only thing I didn't write down. I'm so sorry, man.
Most likely it should be for the 4th of July. I mean, for the 6th of July.
I could look it up, but it probably
that's Orange Crush Adam's birthday show.
Yep, there we go. Reed said that would probably confuse waters. Good point. You and Frank are on the same one.
Okay,
it's for July 6th. Thank you, okay. West Coast correspondent. Of course, he's our dictionary. Like, if anything, that's our dictionary right there. We're like, hey, great one. By any chance, in 1987, in Marshall Field Arena, who was taking a piss in stall 7, and he'll be like, oh, Marcus Maroney, of course.
Yeah.
Why
didn't you know that?
I'll tell you what, though, he's yeah.
Listen, he had too much coffee that morning and it was bright neon yellow. Okay, moving on.
Honestly, when it comes to this show, I can say like our correspondents are definitely our like secret weapon. You know, this is okay. There we go. KJ Orso is a future GCW champ. I don't think not yet, but I think if he has about another year under his belt, I could see where he could be doing something here, and deservedly so. Excellent on the microphone. I mean, he can sell his story and stories of what really sell. So,
I mean, when we're shooting the shit and we're Monday morning quarterbacking, I think me and John and B and Screwball, we all sort of have a succession that we think seems logical, but I think KJ is down the pipe somewhere, but not next and not the one after that.
Yeah.
But he's definitely in the mix somewhere in that list.
Oh yeah, and again, he's quality right now. Not giving him a shot or not giving him a little bit somewhere here or there, I think would be doing him a disservice, because who else out there is putting grabbing the mic and doing what they're doing.
Reed, DM me the name on Twitter.
Yeah, please do, man.
Please.
I'm kind of curious about that one too. KJ is probably the next heel champion after whoever dethrones Effy. We're going to talk about that a little later too, because Effy has a lot of heels. Well, heels that we love. Atticus is now going up against Charles Mason.
We're getting that Shades of Grey, ships in the night, sort of swap going on these days. So I mean, it's very possible that that Effy may not be the face going into some of these matches. So
it's been years since we've seen Effy not be the crowd pleasing, I think that anything like that in time will be refreshing. I know we're going to love to hate it, or we're going to hate to love it. You know what I mean? There's going to be some bittersweet there, but
more than one person has told me that they enjoy Effy more in the chase than actually on top.
Oh, 100%. That's how most faces are, especially, faces that are hugely popular. It's great to be on top, but really the chase is where it's at. It's like, you don't want to just know the ending. You want to actually watch the football game. It's in the journey, and a face will take you on a journey. So yeah, it's more about the journey than it is just being at the destination there. All right, so I'll just move on. Our first show is GCW Bangin in Little Rock. This is from the Hall in Little Rock, Arkansas. I wrote down here, Little Rock was the first of 2 cities for GCW that weekend. The second was Kansas City, Missouri. A COS 4 highlight video package opens the show. I love it because it helps the new and established fans get caught up on everything that's been going on, and hopefully get them to watch whatever show that they just missed there. Emil opens the show. It's a house full of GCW fans for their debut. I have to say, we've already said it once, the fans were the best. They helped make this show better. They were supportive, loud, cheered their locals. And I want to just talk about that for a minute, just about the importance of local fans cheering for their local talents. Honestly, they're needed, because that's the first impressions new viewers like me get to your people. It indicates their level of importance. If a local wrestler like Joe Smith come out from behind the camera and no one makes a noise, my first impression on him isn't going to be very good. I'm thinking, people know him and they don't even want to make noise for him. But when locals are losing their fucking minds, I'm intrigued by what makes him so popular with those fans. That's when I feel the match is more important and deserves more attention than I may have previously given it. And now I'm thinking, what's this guy have and what makes him a good match against our guy? Now the level of importance has went up. And again, that also makes the card go up, overall. So, Frank, do you want to talk about the fans a little bit at all? Any other opinions you haven't given already?
No, you said exactly everything I could possibly say about the fan. It's being on the outside for once it's refreshing, and it's different, because I'm always so used to being right there in the thick of the action and knowing exactly what the deal is with everybody. And you can tell everybody, everybody on the card and their blood type and their birthday and what their favorite flavor of ice cream is. And when we see these secondary loops where it's not LA, it's not Dallas, it's not Jersey. Right. That, you see these local guys come through. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And they're actually like when we come into our first match, K-Toomer, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's you want to feel that excitement again, and it definitely shows on some of these local guys. So
It's just fans really, you are telling us how important your locals are. Lose your mind over them, because that's the only way we know. Otherwise, it's like, oh, hey, look who this is, Joe Sawtooth. Okay, I just want to shove this little tidbit in there for me. Oh, that's a bad way to say it. I want to see more Microman. I'm so sorry. That is not how I meant that. It was just off the subject.
God damn it, John.
Dude, I'm so sorry. Great One says, I also think Effy as a heel is very underrated. And then Clown, I think, has the answer as a storyline. It's Batman logic. You either die a hero or live long enough to become the villain.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, if you're looking for some type of, inspiration, that might be where you get it at right there. Havoc Pro is in the house. How you doing tonight?
Going on?
Hell yeah, KJ's here. First episode I've gotten to catch in a long time. Yeah, we haven't seen you for a couple episodes. It's nice to see you over here, especially now that we're on the bigger show here. Aaron Coulter is in here. Welcome. Little Rock. Yeah, see, Little Rock. Hey, no kidding, Aaron. You got one hell of a show. And, the crowd, I feel like, is the one that helps make the decision on if they come back or not. If you show up to the show is one half the battle. If you lose your fucking mind, that's the other half of the battle. And the wrestlers will feed off of that. And that's how you get a good show. And you did it here. I mean, knocked it out of the park. Havoc's, let's see, Aaron in the house. Let's see. Yeah, A+ town. I would put that in there. If the person in that costume is still Microman's dad, I'm not sure.
Isn't there like two of them? Didn't I see a picture with Tony Schiavone with two of them? Two different.
That was RJ.
I think I swore I saw a picture of Tony Schiavone with the little blue fuzzy guy from CMML. and I think there was another one that was very similarly dressed. And forgive me, I'm not great with my Mexican feds, so
yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I'm on podcast about pro wrestling, no big deal,
All right here. So the only other thing I will say,
I think you made a note about that. I told Atticus to whip her ass. I think you made a note about that. So
also, I just want to say, fans, especially some that are newer, because some are newer, if the action looks like it's coming your way, it probably is. Just grab your shit and move. Like those are famous words. I
deserve it.
It happens.
I deserve it. That's why I don't move.
Well, I was gonna say though, yeah, you enjoy it though. You're like, you know what? Bring on the pain.
I've been cut by glass tubes. I've been tackled by wrestlers on entrances. I've taken running cannonballs sitting in the front row. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, Redacted loves you. He loves to find you. You are the target. One of the targets.
It's me and Andy Lawler are the two people that are that one of us is hitting the deck if Redacted comes out.
Yep. Right before Shotzi dove off the bar was when he yelled it out there. Let's see here. So we'll go into this first match. This is a 4-way match. Hunter Drake versus Brayden Toon versus Jeffrey John versus K-Toomer. I wrote here a lot of young talent gave it a feel like an early GCW scramble, kind of like how they used to be. K-Toomer, the master of Fat Jitsu, had tremendous local support. He's a tank. He caught two wrestlers mid-dive outside the ring. Plenty of agility.
Guess which two of this match he caught?
I know, right? Plenty of agility. Let's see here. I want to give some background on Toomer. I think that's a good thing to do here. Especially, we need to know who this is, especially since I think you and I both want to see more of him. From Little Rock, Arkansas, billed at 386 pounds. His documented career goes back to 2020. He first started at Livewire Wrestling, mostly seen at Memphis Wrestling and United Wrestling Network. He's also appeared for Reality of Wrestling and Juggalo Championship Wrestling. He's a 2-time champion and currently one half of the Memphis Wrestling Tag Team Champions, the Big Mains, with Big John Dalton. and they are running 73 days strong on that title so far. So there's a little catch up on just what he's done so far. Again, new to me, Frankie, new to you, right?
Absolutely, yeah. This is the first time I've seen him, so.
Well, I wrote here that in 2019, he would be GCW material without question. I could see him doing more again soon. I'm also skewed towards big guys. So, I was going to ask your thoughts, but I think you're skewed in that direction just a little bit also.
I mean, there's been a certain stereotype of that the more recent up and coming independent guys have been like the skinnier, smaller, more cruiserweight types. So to see big men again, that's always exciting to see big guys come out and do it again.
I love the impact. When you're there live, I love the impact of when they hit it's like boom, and then you see all the ring aprons kind of blow up from all the air going out from underneath. I mean, in my head, that's how it kind of is. Wrestling is supposed to be big. If a man falls to the ground, that's one of the greatest fighters you can find out there. He better hit with a thud.
Exactly.
That's how I look at it. Hunter Drake, I wrote here, he's becoming more of a solid wrestler in the ring. We rarely see mistakes out of him like we used to see a little bit more back in the day. I loved his 450 in this match. Again, I'm cool with seeing Hunter. I'm having a good time watching him grow up kind of in front of us. His body's filling out. He's always got something different he's bringing to the ring. And again, every time we've seen him, he's been a little more and more, I would call it automatic in a good way.
Yeah.
And then on to Brayden Toon. He had a shooting star press. He does sell his ass off. I want to give him credit for that. I like seeing him in scrambles. I wouldn't hate seeing him in a tag team somewhere. For some reason, I get Reed Bentley vibes, and I can't put my finger on why. Brayden had good reactions in this, but I feel would be great in deathmatch. Brayden Toon, I still feel to this day.
Now that you say that, now that you make the Reed Bentley thing,
I can't put my finger on it. It's not looks. Because I thought, well, maybe it's just looks. No, he's got something. I see it.
Like, is it that, I don't want to say the comedy, but that sensibility.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I felt like if I sit with both of them at a bar, I'd get a similar feel. I don't know, man.
We need more research on this.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that.
Jeffrey John, I wrote here, especially in this match, great heat magnet. He irritated the hell out of the Little Rock fans to the core. He's good at it. Same thing. I don't know why. I think just his facial expression, something about it just makes people he's got
such a great hateable face, and the whole Babushka thing. Like the Babushka gimmick it just works. It's like I think there's been multiple promotions that have been named shows just on the theme of the death of Jeffrey John. And you're doing something right if multiple companies are naming shows after your downfall.
Reed Harris Cooper, that thing where he's like doing the sexy charisma. That's pretty much what he's done for years.
You know what? I think that might be it. Yeah.
I think that's where he's going with that. Our winner here was the master of Fat Jitsu, K-Toomer. It was only a 7.5 minute match, but you know what? It's what they did in the ring. And I couldn't have told you if this was a short or a long minute match. It's just my impression was quality match. Still a lot of young guys. I think we found a new guy to work with, and I'm happy for that.
I mean, it was a great match in the classic GCW scramble template. You can't be mad at like it. It does what it needs to do. It shows off everybody's best spots. You bring in a local talent like K-Toomer, and now we got potentially a great new face that we can use somewhere else on a different card in a different town.
Yeah, scrambles are the proving ground, and we're very fortunate that GCW is really where they're laying it down. On to our second match, Billie Starkz versus Adam Priest. In a poll, Billie Starkz was projected to win this by 84% from our fans. So very interesting that it went this route, but I had JCW vibes in this one. This is something we would have seen a year or two ago on a Sunday or, Sunday morning or something.
Yeah.
Max Recon was our referee. Space Jesus came out to huge cheers. I haven't seen this in a while, but someone had their BSB flag front row.
I still have a BSB hoodie somewhere I had to dig out.
I think it would be cool, like for a Billie Starkz match, to just pull that out for fun.
I have a BSB hoodie somewhere. I know. I remember when there was that whole BSB Civil War. It was for those who don't remember, BSB was a huge NWO level it's non-faction years and years ago. So I mean, to see a flag pop out from someone's stash of wrestling merch, nice, good touch.
Hell yeah. Adam Priest came out next. Fans started booing and yelling at him. I instantly knew who the bad guy was. Thanks, fans. Heels are heavily booed in Little Rock. I wrote in my notes again. It just really put an impression on me. You may actually hear me say one or two things more about the fans, but when you're watching a 3-hour show, you know, an hour or two, you're like, damn, these guys are still going at it. So, sometimes when you have an area who lays into heels, is what we were just saying, that's because of local company booking. Fans are conditioned to have this strong reaction. So again, a nod to the local company.
That's also hugely territorial, where down south you have that more traditional, you know, Smoky Mountain, whatever, you know, whatever company you want to say, where it was traditionally just good guy versus bad guy. And then you have up north in Jersey, where we're very influenced. To this day, we're still influenced by that ECW style. Yep. Where we're sort of in on the joke. We want you to be a little bit more transgressive. We want you to twist the rules and twist the thinking ever so slightly. So we think we know that we don't think we think we know that we don't know. So it's you know, that weird anti kayfabe where everybody knows it's fake, but we're still going into it.
Right.
So you know, it's just a different thought process, and it's almost a different art form down south where it's very much more straightforward.
I always say that I feel like down south kayfabe is still alive.
Absolutely.
I love that. And you know what? That's their entertainment. You know what I mean? That down south, I feel like that's, you know, there's limited entertainment, especially 20, 30, 40 years ago. And that was a big deal for them. And that's local theater.
Yeah.
Almost. I look at it that way. Priest did an awesome job laying into his part by being rough on Billie. The fans did not like that at all. An awesome spot where Billie got slammed on the top rope.
Can we just say that Billie needs to stop fucking ragdolling so well? Like I get actively scared when I see her take bumps to this day, because she could sell water to a fish. Like every move, she's about to die from every bone in her body breaking.
Yeah.
And that's one of the highest compliments I can give her in this match.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she's another one, just a great bumper. You know? Something like that would be great if she decided to be a full heel. Because, you know, when it comes time for her to get her ass kicked, she knows how to do it.
Yeah.
So I wrote here the first half of the match was Priest. The second half went to Billie. Billie ended up getting a quick roll up for 3 here. She was our winner. This was a touch under 9 minutes long. After this match was over, Billie goes for a handshake and Adam Priest clotheslines or something vicious. I honestly felt like I was a little surprised by this matchup. It was an awkward pairing, but I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, outside of just being a JCW matchup.
Billie is that squeaky clean Super Cena face.
Yeah. So going up against like a rougher, heelish, tough guy kind of thing. Yeah.
So
I get it. This matchup with wrestling heavy Priest shown me how much Billie's grown since being acquired by AEW. That was a little bit of an impression, but yeah, just JCW vibes and always will. I have a fondness.
I know exactly what you're saying, and I don't know where to put my finger on that either.
Yeah, I have a fondness to it. So I mean, you gotta love those Sunday mornings.
It definitely had Sunday. Like if this was a match in Atlantic City, this is match 3 on a Sunday.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was really surprised they put this.
You know what I mean by that?
Yes, like, I do.
It's got that, you know, not Matt classic, but it's got that, you know, more technical. It's not that first match. It's not that first match that's going to get the crowd hype. It's not, you know, it's not nowhere near the bottom of the card. I mean, towards the back of the card, but it's got that, you know, that nice rolling energy to it. That's just not, you know, all peaks and valleys.
So I'd put her at number 3 like this. I like to have my opener to be something amazing, capture people's attention. I like my number 2 on the card to be more wrestling heavy, bring everybody back down to reality and kind of settle in for that. And then this is where I'd bring Billie in for the third. I always like having a match in the third as either something lighthearted or something where there's an easy, cheerable face. What that does is gets the entire crowd on the same page. Like I said, there's a psychology to the card.
Oh, yeah,
that's how I like my first 3 matches would be like that. So yeah, I would put her in the number 3 spot. Number 2 is more wrestling heavy. I don't think we got a wrestling heavy.
This doesn't have it. This didn't have the spectacle to make it a Saturday show match.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. No build either. This was just, hey, look what's going on.
Yeah, you know. This was literally like the bar wrestling kind of match. It's just, you know.
G-Mac, welcome. That apron bump was brutal too. That was, yeah. She took one on there. Let's see here. Was there anything else you wanted to mention about that one before we moved on to match 3?
No, like it was just one of those, like, you know, self-contained matches. It didn't really have a build. It really didn't have, you know, anything. Yeah. It didn't really have any loose ends coming out the backside of it either. So it's like, it happened. You know,
it was 9 minutes long. It is what it is, right?
Yeah.
All right, then on to our third match, the GCW Tag Team Champions. We have Young, Dumb, and Price versus a new team, Buck Nasty. That's the team of Buck Skinner and Rob Shit. In this poll with the fans, I'd asked them, Young, Dumb, and Price had a 93% chance to win this. So I didn't know if this was a 50-50 thought, but yeah, we have a new team here. Brett Lauderdale also jumped on the mic for this match. I wrote here, Skinner is a big boy, good height, 5 years in ring experience. He's trained at the NJPW dojo, also trained by Matt Stryker and Johnny Rods. Billed at 6'6", 251 pounds. He has a background in basketball. This is his 9th ever career match here in his GCW debut. I'm sure there's some undocumented work out there somewhere, but I'm not sure. He's been seen in New Japan Pro Wrestling, Empire Wrestling, and Intense Wrestling Alliance. So I just wanted to kind of get everybody caught up a little bit there. Before I go into mine, what are your thoughts on Skinner?
Amazing. I mean, what a look. I mean, yeah, there we go.
Yep.
That's everything you need to say about him.
Know which way?
I can't point the road. Yeah, it's somewhere down there.
Cheater. That's the cheater.
Vaguely down there. No, yeah, putting him with Rob actually worked fairly well. I didn't have I didn't know what to expect coming into those matches, but I think they did great work together. And for it, if you said this was his 9th confirmed match career.
Yeah, well, yeah, documented. You know how that goes. There's probably a bunch of matches he probably worked his ass off on, and we just don't have anybody who reported.
Fair.
So,
but I don't know. He's another one that I would love to see him come back.
Yeah, not going to complain. I mean, at minimum, if we can just see him either in the local or maybe even just the territory, like next time you go to St. Louis, next time you do KC, next time you do, keep him in that little Midwest swing, not against that. But I mean, if he keeps impressing.
But they're a named tag team and they wrestle both days of the loop as the team.
Yeah,
I've said it before that the tag team division needs more depth, and they would be a great addition.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay, so we're going to get into that here in a minute too. I put that the local people are losing their minds for Skinner. Nice reverse face plant on Jordan. Rob Shit is back. Right here was my message. I put that he's a steady hand in the ring. He does his job. He's basically a veteran who you want him to do this, and this. He can go out and do it. So putting him with a younger Buck Skinner, I think, could teach him a couple things. I'm looking forward to that too.
Yeah.
Young, Dumb, and Price come out. Great energy as always. Pulling off a new move, and Rob Shit broke it up by throwing Price through a table. I can't describe it.
Was that the one where he was we did the gorilla press?
Yeah. I just didn't have a good name. Like what's call it
well, on Lauderdale said on commentary for that, it's like, you know what they call a military press in France? A French press. So
should have just said a Royale with cheese.
Yeah, basically.
The
other thing I had to say was I think it was Jordan and Price had that hip toss blockbuster finish. That
Hmm.
that was an innovative move that I don't think I've seen before.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, like if they're at the point where they're putting new finishers together, great. We need that.
Well, I'll talk. I have something to talk about here in a second. We were talking about this before the show. We'll get into this in a moment
Okay.
here. Jordan hits a top rope Rana on shit that went through a door bridge. Nice spot there. But Price shined. I wanted to put my own little moment on him. He kept the energy up the whole match. And the same thing, as quick as he is, as high as he jumps, the whole nine, I still haven't found a ring big enough to contain his speed and energy. Our winners in this one, Young, Dumb, and Price. I got ahead of myself, but I want to talk to you about this subject just for a minute, Frankie. The music, the Young, Dumb, and Price music, I feel like personally, I'd like to see it maybe not cut into a bunch of different songs. I'd like to see maybe one new song, like to solidify the team, to show us we're together, not two separate individuals. What do you kind of think?
Well, like I counted that there was the Young Dumb chant intro. There was a separate like hype up, like, just speech little clip. There was Jordan's music, and then there was Price's music. And that's too many cuts. And I think at a certain point you should just say, hey, do you just want to ride under our music? Like, do you just want to ride under my music? So it's at least it's one song that we always go out under, instead of doing cutting up two songs and two front end tags. I'm like, it seems stilted.
Yeah, staggered.
Yeah.
And it cuts up the energy, because the point of the song is to keep the energy perpetuated. And it's like, oh yeah, hey, screech, new song. Oh yeah, hey, screech, new song. Again, this is personal opinion, but I'm just saying, for solidarity, to show that you're a team, go sit down, smoke a little bit, put on the music, and find out one that find one you both agree to.
There's been people that have had like a 2-second like movie quote clip that launched right into a song, but that's it. But I think the combo that they have now, which was the Young Dumb and like the original Young Dumb and Broke chant, the movie quote, and then Jordan's new music fading into Alex, own music, current music, whatever you want to say. There was too much going on, and it just didn't do anything for me.
Well, the thing is I think it's a lot to listen to, so it confuses people. Maybe that's, like I said, that maybe they need to sit and kick it for one night and go, you know what, let's pick a song and just go with it, because it's only for this tag team. You know what I mean? But if they're highly successful, they could go away and come back again down the road. I think we need a song to connect with that mentally.
Yeah.
Physically, not physically, but psychologically, we need to connect their team with a sound or a vibe, and they can find one and set that. It looks a little like, well, I want mine. Well, I want mine. Well, we're going to both have ours, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't want to assume, but if you're a tag team, the first thing you should do is say, okay, how can we get all this together?
It just seems counterintuitive, because they even talked about it on the broadcast about how Alec moved down to Philadelphia so that they could be more cohesive as a unit. I mean, obviously not moving down specifically for that purpose, but Alec Price relocated to Philadelphia. But
that's huge.
That just because being, I don't want to say stuck in Boston, but that's just that much more time you have to travel all the time. But they're closer now, which means that they can meet up and practice and work out together, which is not nothing.
So is Philly a hub like Pittsburgh, where it's usually a lot of one trip? Like there's not a lot of layovers. There's not a lot of second
Philly,
flights.
I think Philly's a hub. I forget for which airline, but if you're not flying into Philly, you're flying into Newark or you're flying into JFK, and you're 2 hours driving time between them. So at a certain point, if you fly into JFK and you're going to Philadelphia, you would think to drive that. You wouldn't think to take another flight to Philly.
Yeah.
No.
I was wondering if maybe part of the move was closer to Jersey, close to GCW's hometown, probably more companies to work with in the area that he's at
and just
right
being
now.
near a more
Near an
centralized airport. Yeah.
With a straight shot to most of his venues. That's what
Yep.
I'm thinking. Straight shot to Vegas, get off the airplane, come home, boom. You know,
like I mean, I'm not
10
shitting on Logan, on Logan Airport, but like,
fuck Logan Airport. I
you're
don't
just
know
all the way
anything
out. I mean, you're just all the way out in Boston compared to like you're cutting at least an hour off every flight.
Oh, actually, I have been into Logan. I can say that. And fuck it, I can say that too, because it was ice when I flew in there and we were sliding at Logan Airport. And let me tell you, a lot of people may not know, but Logan Airport is kind of surrounded by water in areas, which means if you slide too much, you can slide off the fucking jet and into the water. And I can't swim. I was too poor. I didn't know anybody.
You slide off the runway in Newark and you're just on the turnpike. So, I mean, it's a little bit better. But,
whatever gets traffic moving. Great one says here, it feels like a give and take with every price team. Garbage had one song and no matching. Jordan and Alec have matching gear, but separate songs. Yeah, I think that's kind of right. It does feel like there's a little give and take here, but yeah, I think if they're going to go all in, go all in, the whole nine. And it sounds like they're really putting in a whole bunch of effort. So kudos to them because effort matters and it's going to show in the ring, and they're carrying our titles right now. So we want to see them succeed as much as possible. Also, there's another one. You have a pool in your backyard, never listen. Hey, no shit. It only goes to 6 feet and I'm 6'3". So that's, yeah, flights out of Boston. Okay, so we'll tell this story real quick. When I was young, I almost drowned, almost completely drowned. They had to pull me out. There was a whole bunch of stuff. So ever since then, I just was like, I don't want to do it. And then I had a family member. He wanted to go on a cruise. And I'm like, dude, why do I want to go out on a boat and everything's lava? And they're kind of laughing at me. I'm like, no, you don't get it. If I hit that water, I'm dead. The floor is lava. So... Or too much Super Mario Brothers.
A little bit, maybe. I never learned to swim either, but I'm not really, I live by the coast, but I'm not like a water baby. So I mean, it doesn't really bother me. So
yeah, I'm just not for me. I'm sure I'm buoyant, but I'm sure I float if
by association, probably me as well. But
the Crow Fairy Tale said, I'm still wondering what is going to happen when Cole returns. Honestly, we still don't know yet. Follow Cole when you get a chance, because he was just online today on Twitch playing. He was playing. Oh God, what was it?
Right?
That's the name I was trying to think of. It was Rocket League, and then he was playing Fortnite. So, yeah, that's why you moved. Yeah, I moved to the desert because of my wife. I like green trees and grass and all that stuff, but out here it has its benefits. I'm not gonna lie. Like the sunsets are usually orange because the atmosphere kind of messes with that. So pink and orange sunsets are really cool. And having warm nights. Coming from Ohio, we didn't get a lot of warm nights. So let's see here. Great one says cruises are pretty fun though. God, we're getting old. Look at us talking about fucking cruises and shit. I don't know. I always would want to do like Seattle to Alaska because I think Alaska's cool. I don't know why or how, but
I have a news for you about if you like Alaska?
Yeah. Oh, you have no idea. My wife and son have been like, go to Alaska. Let's go to Alaska. And I'm like, oh man. I mean, it does sound really good on paper too.
I mean, it's one of those things where like, oh, I bet. But it's one of those things like, oh yeah, I went to Alaska to see something I could see in my own hometown. Like
that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, just wait a couple months. They'll be back here anyway. In this one, I put more match than I expected. Exciting with plenty of false finishes. A new guy assessment. I'm really cool with bringing Skinner back. Jordan says Buck Nasty have a future in the tag division. That's coming from Jordan Castle. So it sounds like we do have a new tag team that we can take seriously, because commentary was alluding to the fact that we need to get used to the new blood on the scene. And again, I think I can say both of us are looking forward to seeing them back again. Price also said that they are on a mission to change the tag team, to change the tag scene. I'm sorry. Are they talking about just having a string of wins, or do you think that they mean like changing the tag team by, I mean, are you just looking at a string of wins here and we're going to change it by putting ourselves on the map kind of thing?
Right now, without hearing anything else, without seeing without being able to see who the next challengers are, it's a line in a promo. And I mean no disrespect by that.
No.
It's just a line in a promo. So we have to see, first of all, like I said, we just need more bodies in the tag division. 2, we need like a credible threat in the tag division.
Yeah.
Right now, we're short on both. It is what it is.
Point. No, it is. It is. And that's why kind of we have to feed on when we go to a local area, what tag teams are there that we can put them through the fucking ringer. Yeah. Rob Shit and Buck Nasty coming out to Janet Jackson's Nasty theme. Very cool, by the way. So
we have more talking about entrance theme choices coming up. So if you're here for that,
true.
You're in for a good night.
Yeah, stick around for that one. I was going to ask you, Frankie, who's the next big team you'd like to see in a storyline with Young, Dumb, and Price?
Christ,
that's a rough one.
Yeah. Right now, we'd have to go outside. I don't think there's a good internal tag team aside from someone thrown together, and like Young, Dumb, and Price is a throw together. Garbage Daddies were a throw together. I mean, the last solid, combined unit tag team I think we've seen was either VIF, the Bang Bros. I mean, like
Bang Bros matchup, especially since the age is somewhat similar, they'd match up pretty good with Young, Dumb, and Price. I think they have had a couple good matches
they've had at least one or two. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Throw the fucking Brothers of Funstruction in there.
Hey, I'm down with that. And I have heard from a couple of fans, like they really do like them. Same thing. Good Heights. They've also both been in the industry over 20 years.
Yeah, I mean,
so it's not like they don't understand the game.
You're talking about Automatic, like you're talking about Automatic before. I know they're more on the scale of comedy versus like serious pro wrestling like Alec and Jordo are. But if you're telling me that they wouldn't have at least one good match together, you're crazy.
I'm expecting this at some point right here.
I can definitely see Vandal 48 doing like the Shield thing where you have Atticus with a big title and then you have the Otis and Christian with the tag belts underneath of them. But I don't know if they would want to do that.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, if you're a tag team on the independent division right now, bust your ass and try to see if you can get yourself in GCW because you'd have a spot.
Reed's new comment there, the Backseat Boys. That's a decent matchup too.
Oh, hell yeah. Again, young, capable. They're another one I'm all for.
Cashmere managing them?
Oh yeah. Hell yeah, that'd be fun. Especially on the East Coast. Cashmere will fucking piss some people off. If only we could get the Outrunners. I think we're a little bit late on that one. Maybe if they go to ROH, we can catch them at some point coming over here.
Apparently that seems to be the reason. So
we're going to talk about that in a little bit too. Anything else before we move on to match 4?
No, I think we've covered pretty much everything about the tag.
Perfect.
Match, so.
Our next match here, Jonathan Gresham versus Gary J. 12-minute match. 75% of the fans had polled to have Gresham win this one. The Robo Ginger came out first. Again, tremendous support. Jonathan Gresham has been on the recent run at GCW, and I've been enjoying what he brings on this part of the card. Gary did a triple tope, which elicited...
Hot take, sorry, John.
What's up?
This one might be my match for best 2-song combo. 2-song theme combo.
What did they have?
Wolf Mother's Joker and the Thief and Jigsaw's Sky High. And I know some other matches, may say, "Oh, well, look at this 2-song combo later," but it's I think Gresham's song might be one of the best matched songs that's just random. Like you wouldn't think some 70s disco-ish pop song would fit him, but it does.
Yeah.
So
Let's see here. I'm looking at this one real quick. Kashmir quit them, I guess.
Oh, okay.
So
Sorry.
No Kashmir this time. The chop battle between these two was intense. I will give it that much. That was really fun to watch. Let me go on here. Our finish, a DDT and a forearm put Gary J down, and Jonathan covered for 3. Our winner was Jonathan again at the 12-minute mark. I put the quality wrestling match I expected, hard hitting with groundwork and joint manipulation. After the match, Gary F and J chants were coming out from the fans, and he wasn't even the winner.
Yeah.
Gary J honestly wasn't given enough respect in our fan poll. He gave John a serious fight here. And again, we're like, okay, Gary J, we've seen him a couple times, and then he comes out and throws down this match. And
that was a statement match to put down.
He needed to. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's just that the fans counted him out a little bit, and he's like, fuck it, I'm a professional. Especially
when, your opponent's John Gresham.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no stress there, right?
Right.
Anything else about this match before we move into the next little segment with Sam there?
It's the only other note I had was that this match actually followed the code of honor. So I mean, like,
yeah, I mean, that.
We were talking about like handshakes not being honored, but like we actually had a clean handshake before a fight started. So I mean, kudos, kudos,
yay sportsmanship,
yay sports, yay sportsmanship. So yeah, no,
that's about it though. Yeah,
it was a good. It was 12 minutes, which I think was the longest match so far tonight.
Yeah, it was.
So, I mean, that's not the one you would expect to go as long. Because I think everybody else has been like in that 8-minute spot so far. So, I mean, giving this 12, I think was the right call. So,
yeah, about 8-9 minutes tends to seem to be the, and then sometimes we have some stretch into like the 11 to 13 minute kind of. I don't know. I've kind of noticed there are trends here and there where there's like 8-9 minute matches, 7, 8, 9 minutes. And then there's tends to be a chunk that's like 11 to 13, 11 to 14.
And then you have your 25-minute marathons. And
well, we rarely see matches over 13 minutes. I mean, we just rarely do. It's kind of
without good reason. I should say without good reason. You'll have some.
Yeah. Brett's pretty good on having an understanding on what's going to work there and what's not. So then going on to this next little segment here, Emil announces Sam Stackhouse to the ring. Sam comes out in, I think, a new shirt. I really did like it. He cuts a good promo. He calls out KJ. KJ is in full dress clothes. He's not dressed to fight. Neither men are. They face off. I like the side view stare down. If you're still in here, Ash, awesome job on that side view. KJ says he became something greater. He's the silver tongue savant. Sam said everything KJ is saying is bullshit. He said he feels sorry for KJ ever since he lost his AEW contract. He says he feels his pain. KJ goes to grab the microphone and Sam grabs it back. He's making sense in my mind. He said he's beside him every step of the way. KJ comes off very bitter, and Sam is right. He's taking this out on others. Sam starts putting over Fuego. I wrote here, this is good. Sam's pumping up the people, and he won't let KJ take the microphone anymore. He's pouring out his heart on the microphone. Grown man shit. I really did think it was good here. KJ said he was really underutilized. The business has turned him bitter. Then KJ said, because my name is Fuego, full stop. Fans started yelling, Fuego. KJ says he should just go sit with his wife and sell more stickers. And that's when Sam grabs a hold of him by the throat and takes him to the corner. He says, the only reason you're still around is because I didn't wrap a chair around your head. And I still see that a part of you is still alive in you. Sam lost his mind, started with heavy clotheslines on KJ. There was a huge kick to the head, and KJ is out. That's when we see Sam's wife beside the ring. She throws a chair in the ring. He grabs a chair. He goes to swing, and KJ rolls out. That's when KJ goes basically almost to the back. He's holding his jaw, stunned by what happens. Sam's wife is consoling him. I don't know, man. Watch out for her. She has experience as a valet, if GCW fans don't know. So she can work, and that's how her and Sam met.
I don't know
how much. Yeah, so funny thing, they originally met because they were paired as a valet, type thing. And I think he originally said he wasn't into the idea, and then he's like, hey, kind of like the idea, and Bangin In Little Rock.
Hey yo.
But yeah, so I just want to say, watch out, because she is also a worker. Sam's wife has a name. I feel so terrible. I need to hold on. That's it. I'm gonna go find it real quick. Now I feel like an ass.
Regis at Chelsea.
Yeah, it's Chelsea Stackhouse. That's what it is. I feel terrible. Sorry, Mrs. Stackhouse.
I have to say, watching that promo and watching Sam get worked up, that legitimately caused me to go into fight or flight, because as a child, I remember getting bullied by kids smaller than me. I've always been a big guy. I've always been a big kid. It's like, and I tweeted this out last week, and it's just like, it's, you're pulling your punches and you're being safe, and you're just being, you're being very passive as a bigger kid, just so you don't hurt anybody by accident. But I saw that fucking snap in Sam. And if he wanted to, he could have put KJ into a 1-gallon milk jug and carried him back to fucking Alabama. And Sam, Chelsea, whoever's watching this right now, whoever knows them and send it to him, Sam, green fucking light on KJ. Put him in the fucking dirt.
Ooh. Hopefully KJ's not in here. Has he threatened you before?
Where's my fucking knife? There's my threatening knife. There's my threatening knife.
It doesn't look very sharp there, buddy. It's enough to do the job.
I got 12 others in my room.
Okay,
It'll be fine.
Easy there, Rambo. Yes, I have seen Crazy Sam. I've seen all kinds of different Sams. I love Sam.
Is that the one you want?
That's better.
Okay.
Frankie's flashing weapons on screen, and I love it, dude. This is fantastic. This is GCW Live. All right. Do you think we should run on to this next match here?
Probably.
All right. We have Blake Christian versus Miyu Yamashita. The fans chose Blake Christian to win this by a slim margin, only 52%. I wrote in here, very happy seeing Christian back. Couldn't think of a more perfect opponent than Miyu. Your mother sucks these big ginger balls is what you can hear Blake Christian screaming at the fans before the match. Brett puts over the great people at AEW. So I'm going to ask you real quick here. Do you think there's been a change of heart at AEW, or do you think they're sharing talent? Like, is this an AEW thing, or is this an ROH thing? And like I said, not against it.
Obviously not, because more people, more opportunities, more matches, more feds to work in. It's never a bad thing, but
never.
I don't have the faintest clue about where this is coming from and who's, sticking out an olive branch to who. So.
Mm-hmm. I have nice too. I got all kinds of stuff. You only find out if you're at the shooting range or if you come in the house.
Yep.
There's only two ways to find out. All right, here. Okay, so Blake, a killer springboard 450. Miyu was extremely strike heavy here, a badass ace crusher also. Miyu had Blake in a chokehold, and people are yelling, choke him out. Our finish here, Blake got knocked out with a Miyu Yamashita spin kick to the temple. Highly unexpected, but one hell of a finish. In 15 minutes here, our winner was Miyu Yamashita. What are your thoughts on this match?
Blake sold so well. He was just he got his shit rocked so hard in this match, and it wasn't even like to his detriment either.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great point. It's like, Blake actually shaking the hand after we've had so many instances of not shaking the hand tonight.
Yep.
No, Blake did.
Right, knocking the vanilla.
We're done. Blake, good, everybody.
Blake's a regular listener too, so watch that, Ishmael, because he's come in here many times and thrown down something. He said something and just walks out. So I don't know.
No, I really liked this match. It was just, like I said, just pure striking from the Pink Strikers. So I mean, what more do you want? It's right there on the tin.
I also wrote here that when it comes to Miyu, it's time for her to bring out more of her personality, especially with as much time as we've seen her here at GCW. It's like having a friend over for a party, but she never really talks to you. Nice girl, always saying hi, always smiling, but I just need to know a little bit more about her. Give her a microphone, or maybe she just needs a serious, hard-hitting run at Masha's title.
Maybe
One of those, I think, would work.
I mean, right now, if you showed Yamashita to somebody, and they didn't know anything, so like, oh, her gimmick, she's Japanese and she kicks hard,
right?
And I mean, like, it could just be a language barrier thing, which I completely understand if that's the case. And if
yes,
they show more personality in Japan, that's, it is what it is. But I get your point, but it's one of those things where if it's a language barrier thing and they just don't want to breach the issue in the first place and just play coy about it, fine,
right?
So I can't be upset. I don't think upset's the word, but that line of thinking.
I just feel like she's been here long enough now. I want to know more about her, because I don't feel like I know more now than I did from her second match here.
Sure.
She's given us quality matches, but you know what I mean? GCW, like I always say, is a personality company. I really want to see more personality. And it says she's still the same in TJPW.
Okay.
Some of the TJPW fans have said that she's kind of held back a little bit, but they also think that's because, this is not the same stage as TJPW. They're a little different. And with the styles and everything, she may be more comfortable in that style than coming over here and fighting Adam Priest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's see here. I will run us into the next match. Our next match was Elayna Black versus Joey Janela. The poll had a complete 50-50 split down the middle, and we're talking a little less than 100 votes.
Yeah, this was like the most toss-up of all toss-ups on the card. Just because you could have ran this 15 different ways for somebody's comeback match. So
I thought Elayna was going to just take it out right from the beginning, because I thought, you know what I mean? She's trying to make a statement back on the scene. A lot of people, they feel down after losing something like a big WWE job. So the first thing they need to do is go out there and go, no. This is what I can really do when the training wheels are off. And this is why they got me to begin with. But yeah, for her, I'll just get into it. Elayna came out first. Welcome back. She reached into a small coffin that she had with her, grabbed out a picture of Joey Janela and ripped it up. She was last seen in a GCW ring on January 1st, 2020 at GCW's 56 Nights at the Showboat. She was in an 8-way. Joey came out with a handkerchief over his mouth and nose. I do like that Joey kept wearing his barbed wire pants also. Elayna with an impressive gut wrench back crusher suplex. Say that 3 times fast. Joey answered with a Death Valley driver on the apron. A door bridge was built. Joey takes Elayna off the top rope for an avalanche brainbuster through that door bridge. Joey beats Elayna with a door shot to the head. She loses her mind and starts bashing Joey over the head with a chunk of door. Elayna was very tough in this match. She kicked out of a DVD onto a chair, but she couldn't hold up forever. Our finish here, Joey hits Elayna with a package pile driver onto that chair. Our winner here was Joey Janela. Joey grabs a mic and welcomes Elayna back to GCW. I wrote here a great match for Elayna. I feel she wanted to make a statement, and she did it. Like I said,
exactly my notes. This was, she took massive spots for her first match back. It was a great hardcore match. It was a great put up or shut up, prove yourself back on the indies match. And it's one of those things where, like, when we have these people coming back onto the indies, usually they go back to their indie gimmicks, but with all that knowledge of how the Fed operates on, or like how to carry yourself on TV.
Yeah.
And I think that it's working for her. And, as Joey was cutting that promo after the match, she had the dumbest grin on her face.
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell that she was enjoying it. So, I mean, that should tell you something right there. So
I'll yell this from the highest mountain. You know what I love is seeing people come from places like WWE and AEW and coming over to GCW. Like, look, I got to at least lay one match down over here. That like this is the cool place to be for a lot of wrestlers. They want to come over. It's like ECW. A lot of the WWE guys and WCW guys would have loved to come down and just put on one hardcore match. That's what's happening here.
Exactly. And
all right.
like it's saying she brought her old gimmick back. She brought back the casket, and she, she pulled the 8x10 of Joey out, ripped the photo. Like it's like almost, no, I don't want to say she never left, but
I like that she picked up without it being a problem whatsoever. It's just like, okay, she's just picking right up where she left off like that. Love it. All right, then we'll move on to the GCW World Championship. We have champion Effy versus Action Mike Jackson. An 84% chance to win here for Effy, according to the fans. So I don't know. They didn't see Mike as a big a challenge as he could have been here, but I don't think it's about that. I think it's just about having, Mike Jackson in a wrestling ring.
Right. It's, you can never not love Action Mike Jackson when he's wrestling. So
I always say I gave him a call one time and I'm thinking I'm going to talk to him. He picks it up and it's his wife. And she's like, hey, I think it was his wife says, hey, hello. Oh yeah, he's right here. Give it a sec. Like they were on their kitchen phone talking to me, like landline. Coolest guy ever. He's a principal, or at least he was a principal, if I'm correct. And he also is big on fitness. Go figure. At his age, killing it. Action was getting huge love here. Effy the same. Effy cracked Jackson in the chest and it reverberated in the building. Action, of course, did his walking of the ropes. Effy did a fantastic job working with Mike. I was noticing Effy has a lot of opponents who are fan favorites. An interesting choice for a face champion. This is going back into a little bit of a talk we had here. We're looking at Mike Jackson, Atticus, and Charles Mason against Effy. What's going on there?
I wouldn't call Atticus or Charles pure faces. They're obviously in that tweener cool heel phase right now.
What I mean is popular. They're still heels, but they're popular. Maybe that's a better way to put it.
Like they're that Bullet Club cool heel right now. Is what I would call them. And I don't know. I mean, my reaction to that is like, well, those reactions have come from the Atlantic City crowd. So that's like the Raw after Mania. You can't accurately call that a face reaction when it's coming from the Atlantic City crowd. But you're right that these are, people where Effy looks to be playing the heel in that specific matchup to a couple of these matches. So it's
interesting.
I want to see where they finally pull the trigger on taking the belt off of Effy. Personally, I don't think it's going to be Atticus or Charles Mason. I think they're going to be good matches, but I don't think either of them are actually going to be the one to take the belt off of him.
Not enough build. There hasn't been enough build for it to be the title.
I will say the opposite. I will say too much build, because you have almost two concurrent pardon the terminology, actual competitive threats running at the same time. So one of them is just for show. At least one of them is just for you know what I mean?
That's why I hate having two challengers at one time. One's gonna fail.
It's like, because we know either Atticus or Charles is obviously by process of elimination not going to win their challenge. And then the other one is like, well, if the first one failed, is how could the second one possibly do it? If we couldn't find a clear, definitive, this is the guy out of these two upcoming challenges, why should we care anyway? But that's getting, I mean, don't listen to me. We're so deep in the weeds in this that we're analyzing shit before it's even happening. And
I'm with Great One here. I think that's what's going to happen.
I actually, that was my thought that I was keeping to myself, and I didn't want to actually say it until we actually get confirmation of Allie coming back. Yeah. But I could definitely see Face Allie being the one to take the belt off Effy.
Ishmael, who's a huge KJ fan, says there's a chance of dethroning. I don't think it's there yet. I don't know if you were here yet or not, Ishmael. I know that there's a time for him to win some type of a championship at GCW. I think he needs another couple months yet. There's something being said here between Sam and KJ. These guys do know each other very well, and we have to really read into that. I mean, they are putting each other over at various times too, if you listen. And yeah, I don't know. Sam and KJ are selling me.
Uh-oh. Well, hey everybody.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys.
You left me alone with an open mic. How dare you, Sean?
No, I actually hit a button on the one side here and it kicked me out real quick. And I'm like, oh no, we've been having such a good night tonight.
Reed Harris Cooper, I think, has the right idea here.
Reed,
this is not
one?
the end. I think this is just the beginning, and I think this might be going the direction of a best of 7. If not in actuality, in practice of this just being this, we're destined to do this dance forever type Batman and Joker type whatever.
I say pay attention to Chelsea Stackhouse. Pay attention, because I have a feeling she's more deadly than you think.
So
she is a worker. I put that up there. If there's maybe someone with a low blow or a chair shot or somebody that KJ wants to target on the side, she's there. That can be good and bad. That's Sam's strength and his weakness all in one individual. He's going to have to protect her.
I think, let's see. What else? If I had to say, if KJ was destined for a belt today, I would honestly let him win the belt off Masha and give him the JCW belt. Because I've said this before on the show, and I think everybody agrees with me that the JCW belt has been booked as the IC belt, and I think that works. And I think that works to KJ's favor.
Oh, it does, by far.
So,
by far. Also, on top of that, just like Masha, KJ can work with anyone and make it look good. Doesn't matter who it is.
Didn't Atticus legitimately say, I wanted to work this angle with Fuego? So, I mean, like, how can we not put respect on the actor known as KJ Orso's name as an athlete these days?
Ishmael said it here. KJ should have won the JCW World Championship if it wasn't for Stack. So that's the thing, is I saw that there was a chance for KJ to take this, only because, I mean, he's in a position where he's high enough up the food chain that he is a legitimate threat to her. Let's see here. Masha was the right one to drop to KJ. Gonna be Foxcatcher.
It's gonna be Foxcatcher, but the question is, who the fuck is Foxcatcher?
I still feel it's a female voice, or at least it was on this most recent one. I don't know though.
So it could be one of those things where they have the angle, but they don't actually have the actor. And I still think that that's a possibility that they sorry. KJ can't make Sam quit by beating him up, but he threatens his wife Sam. Yeah.
That's what we're looking at right now. But some of us don't want to say it. I know Great One, he came up with exactly that. I mean, literally right after the match happened, he hit us up in the newsroom with the 4 of us, and he's like, I bet this.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's what Great One's thinking.
It's going to play out like it's, sorry for predicting the future, but if, in my heart of hearts, and I think a lot of us, it's going to be Sam gets handcuffed to the turnbuckle, and KJ's going to wrap a steel chair around Chelsea's head until Sam says uncle. That's just classic pro wrestling right there. And if I'm spoiling the ending to you, you haven't seen enough valets come out of thin air for a match type like this.
There it was. Suck his ginger balls. We love you, Blake. You and your ginger balls, bud. It was good to see you this weekend. We had a lot of good things to say, bud. We really did. So it's good to see you. And before you leave, I just want to say, hopefully we do see you more. The Vanilla Baby gimmick is beautiful. It's working.
I have to say that as much intrigue as the Man in the Mirror gimmick, generated, I'm glad the Vanilla Baby just stuck as like I don't want to say an easy gimmick, but just a junk foody, okay, this is a super easy to digest, super easy to hate heel gimmick.
He's just one of the gentlemen that, I mean,
You know,
he's just one of the ones that I want to see succeed.
like I wanted Man in the Mirror to work so hard, but it just didn't.
Well, no. For me, it did work. I actually saw that there was a lot more to it. I felt like it got cut early, but again, when you have something like this to come in to move, might as well move that one out of the way.
And like, I mean, if it's working, don't fuck with it.
Back to the Stackhouse for a minute. Can he handcuff him? If he's knocked down, you can probably get him. He said, so then we get the final showdown between KJ and Stackhouse.
I can see that we're in a good timeline that if we're, July, that's a 2-month run. That's an 8-week run. You got 3 matches set up there leading to a finale, like at Homecoming. That absolutely works timeline wise.
I think these guys have it all planned out already, and I think we're just having a fun ride here. I'm happy to see Sam in a storyline, and same with KJ. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to see what happens in the end.
The music video Blake made blew up too much for him to not ride with it. I'm like, that's what I'm saying. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Like,
the Sam bait KJ into a death match.
Absolutely.
I think that's one of the matches. What if they do the rounds? What if we get, this kind of a stip and this kind of a stip? Maybe even it's been done too much recently, but I think we're going to get
we're going to get a tag team. We're going to get at least one tag team in there where they're on separate sides of a tag team match.
Great One has a great point here. I think Phoenix should host Stackhouse versus KJ Blow Off only because that's where it's kind of started.
Where it started.
Yeah.
So if that puts it on 12 weeks, so that's like a 3-month cycle for an angle.
Yeah.
And
in independent wrestling, that's like a year.
And like that Phoenix September show, from what I know from our mutual friends who sort of know what's going on in that building, I think that that building will be to capacity, super no vacancy, as the kids say. So I can see that just being something that they know started there. So I think that it makes sense for it to end there too. But like I said, as the current AC representative in the room, I'm like, of course I'm greedy and I wanted to end in AC at Homecoming, but give us another month to see what the landscape looks like for storylines going into Homecoming. Yeah. And then I can pin it down to see like, okay, well, when we know we have X, Y, and Z happening, this could slot into here at Homecoming, but based off this other match, I think this is going to extend another month. It's all just math trying to figure out what's landing where right now. So, and
storyline wise, I'm cool with it. They're pouring out their hearts in this situation, as long as it doesn't go into a situation where this promo sounds like this promo 2 weeks later sounds like this one. So as long as they keep the variety in there, which
as long as it evolves.
Yes. Yeah. Could you imagine Sam half crazy and they show him with a knife in his teeth and he's crawling across KJ's front lawn? He's got camo on. He's like, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him. Oh, look at that. It made my camera go out.
Oh no.
There we go.
Okay.
So our finish here, getting back to it for a minute, because we're
a pro wrestling podcast, by the way, if you didn't remember that.
Our finish here, Effy rolled up Mike for a quick 3. This was a 9-minute match. Effy retains his GCW World Championship. After the match, Effy got booed. I put wow. Effy said he's been doing this for 11 years and he's thankful that if he could have a career half as special as Mike's, he would be happy. And I think that was nice that he got on the mic and said that. And Mike's just taking it in, man. He's really enjoying every little bit of this, and I think he earns it.
To go back to our issues, I don't want to say issues because I know Effy's a sort of a friend of the show too. I don't want to say
he's
issues.
A very big friend of the show.
I don't want to say issues with Effy's championship run, but the fact that there was 2 other matches after the World Heavyweight Championship, is telling to the import of that belt right now.
It's kind of floating around. The way the storylines are, we have to remember that Effy was just coming off of a major storyline with Mance, and that was probably, if not the, that was definitely probably in my head the storyline of the year.
Oh, Effy versus Mance was absolutely storyline of the year.
Yeah.
That's, no question.
So he's basically in a downturn, and I don't think he was going to win that championship at Hammerstein, but I think it kind of went that way because the story got screwed up. And when you have the story screwed up, it kind of messes up. It can cause a snowball effect.
I think anybody that knows, can put two and two together about what we're talking about right now. So I mean, like,
yeah,
the last 155 days will probably have looked a lot different if certain things didn't happen at Hammerstein. So
yeah. So I don't want to get back to KJ too much, but I think if he has a split personality, that'd be such a fun. You're gonna get I told you Blake comes in, he's a listener. You be careful because KJ does listen to.
I'm already fighting Redacted. Do you think I need to worry about Blake and KJ?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you and Redacted have a little beef too, so it works out. I'm so happy I'm not part of any of this. Poor B. Brant has been threatened by like 6 or 7 wrestlers. It's a sport to threaten B. It's just because he's a nice guy, you know what I mean? So they like to kind of have fun with him, and he's a good sport, of course.
We love you, B.
Great one said, I think, yes, we love you, B. He's at work tonight, by the way, guys. Just letting you know. He's got a schedule that just kind of changes every week without going into a bunch of stuff. So we're in a situation right now where he's here as much as he can. And if he can't, I mean, real life happens, how are you going to say no to money? Great one said, I think Effy was winning at Hammerstein, but it was supposed to be Allie versus Effy at brunch. That's an interesting way to put it. For me, I think Allie was probably going to win that night at Hammerstein. And I think it got changed. I don't have anything to go off of as proof. Period. I'm just saying that the way the storyline was running and the popularity from the fans when it comes to Allie and backing her, it just felt like she was the one that had the most gas in her engine to get to the finish line.
Yeah.
So what do you think here? On to the main event of the night?
Yeah.
Rock and roll.
This was, I think, a great match. And there's a lot to dissect here, not just in this match, but like, just general pageantry of pro wrestling in this match as well. So we'll get to it.
So in our main event here from Little Rock, Arkansas, Bangin In Little Rock, Shotzi Blackheart versus Atticus Cogar. Now in this one, fans expected Atticus to win by a 74% margin there. So I thought that was pretty wild. Shotzi asked Emil to announce her as the Indie God. I'm going to stop right there for a second. Frankie, I got to ask you, do you think this Indie God thing was planned with Cardona, or do you think she adopted it and then found out later when Cardona said, hey, wait a minute, that's my shit?
No, if you're saying that the words Indie God that Cardona famously trademarked was a mistake on Shotzi's part, you're smoking crack cocaine.
The Death Match King, the Indie God. No, this is wild.
I originally thought that we had this discussion privately right after TOS that was Shotzi doing a death match for clout and then immediately retiring just to say that she was in a TOS.
Yeah.
And then she says, oh, well, I'm not doing any more death match. And then she pulled this match. I'm like, okay, she's copying Cardona's beat for beat. And it was a piss take that it wasn't, working the deathmatch fans to just do one death match, but I think she's double working and double crossing everybody by just following the Cardona model, and we didn't catch on until just now, especially with that promo she just put on. Yeah. They literally put a video out where Cardona steals Shotzi's, little Tyke's tank. So, I mean,
that's some bullshit. I'm just going to say 6-year-old me would be so pissed off. I'd get my big brother if I had one. I'd get my big brother and be like, we're going to go get that fucking tank back.
Yeah. So I'm pleasantly surprised to be wrong that this was that this was written so well so far out versus what I thought was just going to be, just a one and done type thing.
Yeah.
Because like she had that tweet planned out the next day. It's like, nope, I'm done unless it's Gage. I'm like, oh, Cardona fought Gage. Oh, there's like 12 different connections here. Oh, okay. Yeah.
So then I'm going to ask you, when it comes to everything you just said, wouldn't it have helped her story if she didn't announce her retirement from Deathmatch so quickly and maybe let the fans anticipate the possibility of another one?
I think it worked because so many of us are so resigned to the fact of like, when you see a tweet like that, you expect it to be the non-kayfabe truth.
Yeah.
So I think that's that whole ECW, blurring the lines of kayfabe, that it actually worked in favor.
Yeah, there we go. Crow Fairy Tales talking about the video from today. I thought it was funny. I
think it definitely it sure as shit worked me. So I mean, like, I don't see why it wouldn't work on other people. That when I saw that tweet, I was in the newsroom chat. I was literally heated. It's like, why are we having all these people, coming out and doing one deathmatch just to say to do it, and then leaving and saying, I'm not doing any more deathmatch. Like, oh no, she's doing the Cardona. I did one deathmatch, therefore I'm the deathmatch king. I'm like, now it makes more sense,
Yeah. I wrote here in my notes, Cogar's way over. I say it all the time. People want to believe in him. He could lead a group of people if he wanted to, and the GCW fans want that. Atticus brings doors and chairs out. Good point by commentary that was made. Atticus is a recognizable one-word name. You say Atticus anywhere in wrestling, and you know who that is. Tell me that isn't badass.
Right.
Wonder if that was planned. I'll go back just for a minute. Who comes out in the tank in Dallas?
Well, Shotzi didn't have her helmet.
No.
In Little Rock, she didn't come out with her motorcycle helmet.
No.
And my first thought was, Shotzi doesn't have the helmet. Is Atticus doing a skin mask with her helmet? And he didn't. He just came out as like, very
right. I like that idea.
So
very interesting. I love
Atticus
the idea.
Came out very, I don't want to say plain, but he came out, as himself.
It's a good way to put it.
In whatever context you want to take that as. He came out, black and white in Vandal 48 gear. No mind games, no fuckery, no cousins to, come, run shit with him. It was literally him doing the damn thing.
Love it. We got my favorite whoop that trick chant. I always love that. They're fighting all over the venue here. It goes to the stage and ends with Atticus putting Shotzi through a door bridge on the floor. Shotzi's got skewers in her head. She answers with a top rope Rana and sends Atticus through a door. She goes to the back and behind a curtain, and she comes out with a pane of glass. The fans loved that. Our finish here, Atticus hits an air raid crash, covers for 2, and a brain hemorrhage for 3. Yeah, that was our winner main event, almost 14 minutes long. Emil mentions that Atticus won without Vandal 48. To my point from last week, each member needs some wins, and right now, collectively, they haven't been as dominating, but more menacing. So this was actually a statement win that meant more for the team, and they didn't even have to show up. And that's one of the points I wanted to make with Otis when he went through TOS as deep as he did. The strength of the team increased as he singularly went further and deeper into the TOS. Anything else on this one that you can think of?
No, it was a great match. It didn't need to go. It didn't go any longer than it absolutely needed to. It was 12, like I said, 12, 13 minutes. Perfect. They did some brawling around the room, which is always great to see. I enjoy seeing brawls around the room in a new venue because the normies don't expect the play to spill out into the aisles.
Yeah.
So when they see somebody come through, like grabbing someone by the hair and pulling them through the aisle, through the crowd, and you see those people who have never been to a wrestling show, it's like, oh my God, they're right here. It makes that just made that real to them.
Yeah.
So
I love those kind of GC or the ECW style brawls around, the venue. Those are fun. And you don't really see those on TV wrestling as much. And I think that's what also separates independent wrestling is the fact that it can wildly go everywhere. And I love when wrestlers abuse that.
oh yeah. Like especially like I said, especially in the showboat where it's like there's just so much room to play in there.
Yeah.
Once you get out of the ring setup and you just start beating people with like merch table items, all bets are off. All bets are off.
Well, then I think, was there anything else you had to say about Shotzi and Atticus for this main event?
No, I'm excited to see where this Shotzi and Cardona thing leads, because I know Cardona's not been present in GCW recently, but this is an interesting way to bring him back in.
I love it. I love everything about it. Anything where Atticus is moving into a bigger storyline, I'm with.
I don't want to say we, because I don't want to speak for you in this moment, but I was kind of against the Cardona GM angle towards the end because it wasn't advancing anything. It was just existing there week to week.
It was there to dominate, and we were kind of getting the same dominant story week after week. I feel like everybody caught on towards the end, and I think that's what kind of helped everything.
Yeah, I mean, like towards the beginning of it, it was like, oh, it's funny. They're doing a TV authority gimmick. Ha, ha, ha. Cardona's just taking, Stephanie McMahon's playbook. Ha, ha, ha. It's funny. And then the joke just, in my opinion, it went on just a little too long.
Yeah. And it went as long as it needed to and then some. So yeah, I was happy that it was over when it was. Also, everybody kind of went their own ways, You had Mance and his girl going over to TNA, and there was just a lot going on there at the time too. Is there anything else that you can think of before we kind of take a quick little break? Because we've went an hour and 45 minutes. Like,
yeah,
we
I didn't think we were going to go an hour and 15 for this first show, especially because we got to cover a whole other Kansas City show now too. So.
No problem. So let's just take that break right here. It's going to be a 3-minute break. I have a little cookie thing. It doesn't really match the GCW aesthetic, but if you just like watching stupid shit, it's fun. So I'm going to put on this timer for 3 minutes. Please, everybody take a break. For those who hate breaks, I'm so sorry, but do this. We got, go chill out for just a minute or two. We've got another second half of the show to go. We will see you guys back here in 3 minutes. All right, rock and roll. Okay, so I know it don't fit, but hopefully everyone liked the cookie. I'm a sucker for like the shit that kind of goes around. I like watching the little swirlies the whole time, and
Tell me you're a stoner without telling me you're a stoner, John.
Anyway, actually, that's kind of funny. Who was it that was doing the challenge where they were going to drink a 50 milligram whatever?
Oh, I don't remember.
Oh man, yeah. Someone said if they did $100 to Cannonball that he was going to drink like a 30 or a 50 milligram like drink.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing a 0.5 gram dab. I thought that'd be kind of cool. Dude, I'd choke the shit out of me. It'd be hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
The exploding cookie death match. Well, at least people like the cookie though. I don't know. I thought it was just fun. So I considered doing that. I actually considered playing music videos. I don't know if anybody has noticed, but when I play it straight from YouTube or somewhere, the audio is not very great. I think what I can do next time is I can grab maybe a video or two straight from YouTube, and I seem to be able to, I can load that into StreamYard, and that would give us a much better quality video. So yeah, I can definitely look into that because that'll give someone, something to look forward to instead of just, a cookie. I don't know. I like the cookie though, but yeah, that was one of those things you're only seeing. It's not wrestling related, but it doesn't matter. So enough cookie talk. Let's fucking do this. On to GCW's Take a Picture. This was from Sunday at the Truman in Kansas City, Missouri. Emil opens the show. Again, we had a very loud and enthusiastic crowd. And again, we had great crowds both nights. There was a heavy Juggalo Championship presence that was on this card. Cardona comes out to the ring. We get a replay of the People versus GCW where Lloyd wrestled Matt Cardona. Great moments. If you remember, that was a fun surprise. We kind of all called it. We knew it was kind of coming, but when it hit, it was like
that was a great reaction in the room when Jimmy ripped off the headband. It's like, oh, he done fucked up.
Fuck yeah. It was just so well done. He's mad. Shotzi called herself the indie god. He puts over the match on July 11th in Dallas, and he does the little hi, John Cena. And that was a nice little spot there. And then he calls out Jimmy. So on to our match here. Our first match is then Jimmy Lloyd versus Matt Cardona. Matt Cardona was favored to win this from fans by 64%. So we'll go ahead and get into this a little. Brett and Emil are on the microphone. Emil was more on play-by-play. Brett was on color commentary. Matt brutalized Jimmy for most of this match. Outside of small flashes of offense from Jimmy, just didn't happen. Mainly just big reversals for pops. That's all that Lloyd could really get in. It was a very short match. Our finish here, Cardona hit a low blow into radio silence. Matt goes for the wrap-up, and Jimmy reversed it for 3. So surprisingly, our winner here was Jimmy Lloyd. What were your thoughts on this weird, quick little match?
It was a reason for Matt to be out there to advance his vendetta against Shotzi. The whole Jimmy thing, it didn't really have any consequence to it. It was just a reason to get Matt out to the ring and angry for Shotzi. And I think that's exactly what it needed to do. And I'm not mad that happened, that's how they do it. Because I'd rather someone be out to the ring yelling after a bad match like that than just coming out to the ring in street clothes full of piss and vinegar, just doing a talk show segment.
You know, I'd look at it that way too. Everything, it got the job done. We got to see Matt in the ring. We got to see a promo. It advanced the storyline. Actually, it advanced a couple storylines. I think that was pretty good.
Matt got egg on his face losing to Jimmy. You know, it
hit all the good ones. It hit all the good points.
Like I said, I'm not mad. It was a short match. It did exactly what it needed to do. There's not much to say about it beyond like the whole callback to the pipe bomb to the pipe bomb to the pipe bomb. That's the only, the hey John Cena bit. Like that's all. That was my only real note on this match. It was like, okay, so Matt knows exactly what he's doing too. So I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
whatever.
Well, I'll tell you who else is mad. Matt Cardona was mad. He grabs his internet championship and beats Jimmy with it. Again, very quick match. I even expected maybe some Shotzi interference. It didn't happen here. But to me, I'm guessing we just set up Lloyd's interference in Dallas.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we see. We've watched too much wrestling, Frankie.
a little bit,
Just a little bit. All right. Anything else about that one before we move on?
Like I said, I think it was a short match to set up Cardona being angry. There's not much more to say about it.
Great one said that we could see you reacting on hard cam.
Oh,
have you seen that?
From Hammerstein. Yes, I've watched Hammerstein back. Yes.
Okay, then we'll go into our second match of the evening. Joey Janela versus Jack Cartwheel. Now, in this poll with the fans, Joey Janela was favored to win by 82%. In Kansas City, fans were also solidly behind Joey in this match. Cartwheel did an insane splash over the top rope. Was that an ode to Too Cold Scorpio?
It's not out of the possibility, especially with him being, in the building.
All right, here, excuse me. I don't know if I like Jack better in singles or scrambles. Do you have a preference?
He needs to be able to show himself off more than just being participant number 4 in a 6-man scramble. That's the match right before, that's right after intermission on a Saturday. It was a longer match. It was 13 minutes. So I mean, he was able to show that personality. He did lose, but it wasn't like we've talked before about where Jack has just been straight up squashed in some matches, and this was not that. He lost, but it was a good hard fought loss. So it wasn't a loss to be angry about.
It was like the Elayna Black match the night before, where she may have lost, but she went over.
And I think that's the lane that this match ended up in. So
So I wrote here the booking of Jack would not have been so strong 1 year ago. And I'm happy to see that now he's at that level. My notes also lack how quality the match was, but it's hard to make notes on the storytelling that they were doing in the ring here. Our finish, Janela delivers a package pile driver on Cartwheel, and he covered for the win. Again, I just put high quality match that Jack was proud to brag about after. Janela did a great job making Cartwheel look good. He wrestled a match with no crazy spots. I felt it was fairly safe. Cartwheel got plenty of love from fans after the match. I thought that was an interesting dynamic, but I feel like that happens where sometimes the fans are like, you know, we've been on your ass the whole time. Good job, Jack.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there a better way to maybe put that? I'm not sure.
There's also that line of people just want to go both these guys, but in the heat of the match, they actually want to cheer for one specific person.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think the fans, because they're so participatory, they kind of lean into the match the way they kind of wanted to, and at the end they're like, you know, we didn't give Cartwheel enough love. Let's do it now. And I think that's fair because they like him too. It was just you got to pick between one of them, you know.
It is what it is.
Okay. We're moving a little bit more here. You want to go into number 3, match 3?
Yeah, well, I mean, this one actually had some longer implications down the road. So I think we're going to be on this one for just a touch longer. So
just a little bit. All right.
Yeah.
So our next match is KJ Orso versus Dan the Dad. Our poll here, 89% to win this, KJ Orso. The writing for this KJ Sam story has an interesting dynamic where at times fans think they can flip him back through their cheers. I don't know if anybody else has noticed that, but when he said, I'm Fuego,
I caught that just a little bit. Yeah.
It's almost like football where the fans think they can kind of change the way the game goes if they yell loud enough, kind of thing. But I thought it was kind of a fun dimension between KJ and Dan the Dad, because you have KJ acting up and then Dad has to kind of come in and correct him a little bit. Fans were loving their local Dan the Dad. He's got a lot of fan chants. You rarely chant anyone else, like fuck him up, Dad, or hey, that's my dad, or any of the other chants you could think with Dad in it. KJ attempted to leave the match and Dan had to bring him back to the ring by his ear. Dad's coffee cup broke and the fans lost their freaking minds.
I think that was the best thing that could have happened in that match was just accidentally breaking the coffee mug, because that's a genuine you fucked up moment.
Right.
It's not like it's not like a botch you fucked up, but it's like, it's just the story like, now you're toast.
I think he needs to have something there so that whenever a coffee cup does break somewhere, he just loses his mind. Like, okay, you fucked up now. Like you messed up Dad's Sunday morning breakfast. Like, yeah, you screwed up. KJ was getting in referee Scarlett Donovan's face. Dan turned that around and started whipping KJ's butt with his belt. Our finish here, there was a low blow into a Cobra clutch. Dan the Dad tapped out. Our winner was KJ Orso. Should I just go into what happened right after that, or did you have anything about the match you wanted to say?
No, it was actually a fun match beyond like storyline implications. It was a great match. Scarlett got into it. Scarlett did the old school pratfall of pushing someone over someone else who's kneeling, and then KJ just goes flat on his ass. There was just good shit going on all through the match, and then of course she ended up with the ref distraction and the low blow behind the back. So I mean,
fans are having a good time.
Yeah.
Ishmael's over here. KJ whoops Dan's ass, and it reads like, I'm about to hit you with a belt.
You're grounded, Ishmael. You're grounded.
We love you, Ishmael. All right, so on to after the match. So the fun little stuff that happened afterward. KJ grabs a chair and enters the ring. He's going to attack Dan. That's when Sam's music hits. He comes out. Dan rolls out of the ring. KJ goes to hit Sam, and he punches the chair out of his hands. Sam is obviously dominant here. KJ's only alive because Sam has a heart for his friends. That's about the truth. Stackhouse grabs Fuego's mask. He has a chair. Sam attempts to put the mask on KJ, and he rolls out of the ring and grabs a mic. He repeats that he isn't Fuego. Sam said everyone is sick of KJ's facade. He's going to make him quit. He's going to make him quit it all. Sam then challenges for an I Quit match, and that's exactly what we end up getting. Thoughts on this one? You said, so you think, and I think other fans are thinking too, this is not the end.
No, this is going to be the start of a longer angle, but like it's going to be something along the lines of we discussed it before. It's like, oh, okay, so Sam's going to get, handcuffed to something, and KJ's going to just start swinging for the fences on Chelsea. That's how I think that one match is going to go.
KJ is not a quitter. He is a fighter. I'm only making the he's a fighter joke because I saw I won't get too much into it. If anybody sees any clowns out there in the ring talking about he's a fighter, he did a promo over the weekend. Yeah. I'm so sorry I left it blank like that, but I started to talk about something. I'm like, I ain't even going to mention it on here. It's in another company with another thing going on.
We don't need it.
I don't know. I don't even remember the company. I'll just tell you because it's more fun. So Dirty Ron had come out and he's like, I've screwed up this. I've done that. I'm doing this. I'm having a rough time, but I'm a fighter. So that's why he said here, okay. KJ's not a quitter. He's a fighter. And it would have been helpful if I would have given you the context of that joke before I said it. All right, then we'll move into match 4. Madman Pondo.
Speak of the devil and he shall appear.
Uh-huh. I told you of KJ. Frankie was talking shit, bro.
I'm talking bad shit about you.
He's talking bad shit. I'm telling you. You get on it. Dude, he's going to see you somewhere in AC, and that's going to be it right there. I told you KJ's going to, you keep evoking all the monsters. You've pissed off Blake tonight. Reed's asking KJ, what if Chelsea hits you first? KJ's in all kinds of fights. He's telling you he ain't scared of no knife. Bro, okay, he's been here since the beginning.
He's here the whole time. Yeah, I don't care.
He knows all your tricks, Frankie. All right. So on to this match here. We had the team of Madman Pondo and Willie Mack versus Buck Nasty. Again, that's Buck Skinner and Rob Shit. The poll here, Madman Pondo and Willie Mack were supposed to win by 79%. So I put here, good seeing referee Max Recon on the job. Team JCW's in the house with Madman Pondo and the chocolate juggalo Willie Mack.
Can I just say one thing before we get
What's that?
Into it? I just love Max's just exasperated dealing with everybody's bullshit expression he has all the time.
Oh yeah.
He's just so over everything. It's great fodder, especially in a match like this where you've got Willie Mack and Pondo just like causing absolute havoc everywhere.
Let's see here. I have Buck Nasty have a JCW feel to them. Could see them secretly turning against GCW at some point. Pondo's bleeding and water is wet. We got the GCWmerch.com split screen. Thank you, Ash. Skinner looks good. His youth is his advantage at this stage of his career. Excellent size. I see more work in him for GCW. Brett was having a fun time working the word shit into his commentary.
He's
about
a family
50
man.
times.
He doesn't want to swear.
That's right. Well, with those babies, he's dealing with a lot of shit, though. I'll tell you that much right now. There was a brawl around the ring. I'll go straight to our finish here. Willie hits a pop-up forearm on Skinner and turns it into a stunner, covers for 3. Our winner here, Madman Pondo and Willie Mack. I'll stop right there. I was going to say, I was almost hoping there was some JCW interference to further the invasion kind of war storyline they have together. I didn't see one, though. You know, again, this is where I said, if I just had some makeup and a t-shirt, we could have looked like there was a small invasion there tonight. Yeah. It could have looked like someone got beat up in the locker room, throw a shirt over them like, hey. And
the only thing, of course, this is me thinking way too deep into shit, but this match was a signpost. This was a hardcore match just for a hardcore match. But this one, there was also just a signpost to say JCW is the bad guys to the people who don't know about this whole invasion angle going on. So now you've squarely put Team Juggalo Championship Wrestling as the bad guys, and it sets you up for a little bit later down the line.
Oh, yeah. I think that's the best way to put it.
Even just for, tonight, because we have the other matches tonight. We have, there was the UV belt, and then there was Mickey and Masha. So just to say towards the top of the card, you're just setting up Chekhov's gun saying JCW is the bad guys here.
Yeah. And I think that's the way it should go and should continue to go, because we always have to remember there's new fans watching every show. You know, GCW's Take a Picture was someone's first show ever.
Yeah.
I like, again, way more storylines than there were 2-3 years ago here. And this really helps tell the story. I love having stuff like this going on. It's a hell of a lot easier to follow.
This might be the longest that a collaboration invasion-ish angle has happened in GCW, because I know that we've had Tuff for almost a year at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the seeds have been there. And I mean, of course, I don't even want to say like GCW going to Detroit. I don't even want to consider that. That's not, you know, collaboration, but there is like, you know, oh, hey, maybe we should do business down the road. You know, there's at least that talk and handshake 2 years ago when they have been like Violent J or somebody was at a random Detroit show. But we've been at this like solid JCW invasion angle for almost a year now.
I like it. I'm cool with it. I'm not
saying I don't like it. I'm just saying that I'm just trying to remember the last time we've had a longer I mean, the last time, we're here because of the invasion, new, you know, from the JCW side. Welcome.
Hell yeah, welcome.
I think the last time we've had a long-ish angle like this was the IWS stuff, and that only went on for 2 months or so.
Mm-hmm.
Was that unfucking sanctioned Montreal show, the first one?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the seeds have been there for a minute. I'm going to just leave it at a minute.
I love it. I'll take it. I think they work well together. I think it helps that Brett loves ICP. So it kind of works hand in hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's self-admitted he listened to the music, maybe he wasn't a juggalo at one time. I can't say which one it is because I can't remember.
Brett's going to be the one to turn.
Oh my God. If only he comes out and he's in face paint. I've sold the company. Whoop, whoop.
But the name of the company is Violent. No.
So yeah, somebody else was asking here. They're confused. Did Pondo become the Juggalo champ? The episode hasn't come out yet. The episodes for Lunacy come out on Thursday. So you can check those out for free on YouTube.
Who was Juggalo champ before Pondo?
Toxic. This is where we need somebody who knows a little more. Who was?
Yeah, we
need
somebody from the Juggalo side. Who was Juggalo champion?
That's a good one.
Anyway,
that's a good
while
one
we're talking about it, do you Crow said, do you think that this Kerry Morton was champ?
Kerry Morton. There we go, guys.
So do you think
so we'll go back to this
Game Changer versus Juggalo feud ends at War Games? That's the most likely pairing we have for a full-scale war right now would be War Games. My initial thought is that this ends at Gathering of the Juggalos, but now that you say Art of War Games, that makes a lot more sense, because I've had my words to say about last year's Art of War Games that just fell flat, and we had there was that natural British death versus American death rivalry that was going on all last summer, and that was a completely wasted opportunity in my opinion.
Barely sold. But I mean, the storyline behind it barely sold, and I think
it just got absorbed into the larger deathmatch royalty as the authority angle, and it just didn't do much for anybody. But now that we have this war, this is the issue that you have when you're writing angles to the specialty pay-per-view rather than setting up the gimmick at a random pay-per-view when the story calls for it.
Yeah,
but I don't run a company, so I mean, I gotta keep my mouth shut on that. 4-0 and GCW went on for at least a year.
I was gonna say, how long do you think that was? Because I'm talking like 12 to 15 months.
At least, but I don't consider that a collaboration as much as that was just the heel faction taking
storyline.
Over for a long. Yeah,
that was just basic storyline shit right there. Yeah, Crow's with you, Frankie. The War Games, he didn't like it. Holy mackerel, great one. 2019 to 2021. I'm right there with you, dude. Damn. Okay, so this is the other one, Reed. I actually thought Alice was going to join. And when Atticus had one of his things where the lady was dancing in the thing, I honestly thought that was going to be an introduction to the female member of Vandal 48, Alice Crowley. But unless she's related, well, it's a story. It could be, but you know what I mean? It's mostly family right now at Vandal.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But we do need, it would work because all of the possible defections have been away from GCW. So a possible defection away from JCW would make more sense? Question mark.
Yeah.
So, you know, take it or leave it.
Yeah, she's wearing their colors. I'm telling you that's another one that I think would fit wonderfully. I haven't seen her wrestle in a long time though. When I did last see her, she was awesome. So, I mean, or at least she did her job. So,
I mean, that would round out the stable too, because then you would have the champ, you'd have the tag team, then I don't want to call Alice the heater, but she's the solo heater out of Otis and Christian. I would put Otis and Christian as a tag team, and I would put Alice as like a solo heater almost.
And he's saying, what about the other two Cogars?
What do you mean?
I think you're just thinking of members of 440, right? More Cogar, more chaos.
Well, that's the thing, is that I'm even contradicting myself, and I'll admit it freely, that I said I was fine when it was just Otis and Atticus. And Christian is like, I could take or leave Atticus. And now I'm thinking, oh yeah, there's others. But then, I'm completely saying we don't need it to become 440 version 3 at this point.
Yeah.
So.
Interesting. They could be 330. For people who don't know, that's literally the area code directly below them in Akron and Canton.
It's 440 and 330?
Yeah, it's 440 and 330. my old zip code was 330. Sorry, area code.
I used to be in the first area code.
Really?
Like
the very first one that ever
way back in the day, 201 was numerically the first area code. But But then New Jersey all of New Jersey used to be 201. But then New Jersey just was so populated. I think there's 7 or 8 area codes in the state of New Jersey now. There's 732, there's 908, there's 848. There's so many.
Right here. Yeah. RSP is not going to show up. Definitely not part of it. Also not related. So that would kind of work there. And not a Cogar, not related kind of thing. So I don't know. Maybe there is another family member running around out there. I'm not sure yet.
I don't think they've actually spoken of like it hasn't come up before that there's another family member.
We need to see Napier in the ring, one-on-one with someone, and it needs to be good.
Yeah, because he's only done run-ins so far, right?
Yeah. So I mean, we need to see more and learn more about him, and there's no better way to strengthen a group sometimes than to accentuate like the singles. And he's the only one we don't have a lot of information on. And I don't know. We'll see more out of him hopefully down the road. On to our 5th match. We have Jonathan Gresham versus Simon Grimm versus, well, they said Simon Grimm is Simon Gotch versus, surprisingly, Billie Starkz. Billie Starkz was put into this match. It was announced halfway through the show that Miyu Yamashita was not able to perform in the state of Missouri for this specific show. It was noted that she had been on several Missouri shows before, but because they said that she had no social security number, she was not allowed to perform that night. So that kind of left Billie out in the cold, and that's where she had came into this match here. I put that it was a busy 3-way nonstop action. Honestly, the minute Billie went into it, I would have done something different here. I would have turned it into a 3-way elimination. Now, here's why. You already injected Billie. Gresham versus Simon Gotch is a wrestling match.
That's a wrestling match, yeah.
Right. So people like me who are expecting a wrestling match went, oh shit, Billie's out here. What's she going to add? Nothing in a bad way. It's just I was expecting a pure wrestling match. I really wanted to see a one-on-one sportsman type thing go down here. I really wanted to see how they, meshed. Well, our finish was Billie. She rolled up Simon for a 3 in a very, very, very short match. So not only was she thrown in, but she also took the win here. I wrote, what was that? It interrupted what should have been an awesome wrestling match.
Yeah.
3-way elimination would have been great. Take out Billie 5 minutes in. Now we're back to the scheduled match everybody wanted to see. So maybe Gotch or Gresham were injured.
My only thought otherwise would be like, you're throwing Billie in there because you want to get Billie out there and maybe for the kids. Like,
excellent point.
Like, that's the only thing I can think of is would you shoehorn Billie into that match? Because I don't think there was a separate scramble on this.
No,
and
there isn't another match that they could put her. They couldn't have put her in the Mickey Knuckles Slamovich. Couldn't have put her in Too Tough Tony and Tremont. Couldn't have put her in Effy and Too Cold. That kind of narrows it down.
You could have maybe put her in KJ and Dan.
Yep. Oh no. That would have been great because that match was semi-serious. Which means with Dan the Dad and Billie, you would have had more of a... Also with Billie, she could have played the kid. Dan the Dad would have been the dad. You could have had more of a creative dynamic there also. Good point. Would have maybe throw her in there.
But there just wasn't a separate lane to put her in besides maybe that KJ and Dan match. But it is how it is. It was thrown together. Obviously, clearly it was thrown together day of. You said somebody could have been injured. On my 2 watches of this show, I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah, me neither.
So
I'm just benefit of the doubting. You know what I mean? Maybe someone wasn't feeling. Somebody could have thrown up. Somebody could have fallen down. Who knows? I feel embarrassed though. You're right. Don't underestimate the kids here. Don't underestimate the families. Don't underestimate all the potential new viewers that are coming from AEW Ring of Honor. So that was an excellent point, actually. Anything else on this match before we move on?
I mean, there really wasn't that much to go on besides the whole thing about like Simon just not respecting Billie as a competitor and that whole thing that was going on through the match. I'm like, I could have taken it or leaving that. So
Billie could have used a different partner in that match. That's always an idea.
It's just the issue is that this card, more than usual, everybody was sort of locked in by way of storylines, where some other cards are very much plug and play, what we call bar wrestling. It's just like, these are these wild matches we're going to show you today. And it doesn't really matter who fights who. It's just you want to see your 15 favorite wrestlers fight in a bar on a Saturday night. But this one had a definite beat for beat. It was like, well, Effy's got to defend the championship, so you really can't put Billie into that. Masha's got defending her belt, and then Too Tough and Tremont are going to go at it, so you really can't put them in there. So it was kind of a harder spot to fit Billie in than usual on this one. So
and that's okay. That's okay. Another match, another night. We're on to the next one, kind of thing. So be it. Our next match, this is match number 6, our GCW Tag Team Championship. We have our champions, Young, Dumb, and Price versus the New Guys versus the Premier. This was kind of a wild little match, but it played out in the long run. The music for Young, Dumb, and Price, I'm going to put it here, needs to get figured out. Playing separate songs doesn't reflect solidarity. If they want their own feel as a team, this is one step in the right direction. Oliver says GCW is on world domination. They want their title to be the #1 title, and they want to take the belt the distance. So I know we were talking earlier about is change being just taking the belt all around the world and, going for the distance. I think that sounds like what they're trying to do here.
I think that this is obviously going to be a stab at the Japan tour too.
Yeah. And again, we say it over and over. These are 2 singles. They can do singles on their own. They don't need this tag team, but without these 2, what tag team do we have?
We don't have a tag division without them right now.
Isn't that wild? That's the quiet part out loud, guys. But yeah, it's something worth thinking about. Thank goodness, though, that they can come together and do what they do, because they seem to be doing pretty damn well at it. So we have this other surprise match. This is where 3 teams competing for the championship. The New Guys come out, then the Premier. I had no idea what to expect.
That's the actual tag team name. If you didn't watch the show, they're actually called the New Guys. So
the New Guys. They're nobody to laugh at either. We'll talk about that here in a second. So let's kind of get a little familiar with the Premier and also with the New Guys. So with the Premier, we'll go first. They're comprised of Campbell Myers and SK Bishop. They've been wrestling together since September 19th of 2020 at Magnum Pro End of an Era. They've been seen on AEW, NWA, Glory Pro, Central States Wrestling, and many others. They've wrestled 103 matches together, and they are a 3-time 0-1 USA Tag Team Championship team all together for a total of 203 days. Now on to the new guys, comprised of Jake Bosch and Scott Stanley. They've been wrestling together since October 25th of 2023 at a WrestleMax dark match. That's less than 2 years. Mostly seen at Glory Pro and St. Louis Anarchy, they've had a total of only 78 matches together. In that short time, they've won 5 championships and are currently holding 4 of those right now.
That's impressive.
Dude, yeah, less
So
than
impressive.
2 years, 5 fucking championships, 4 are in their pockets. They're the Dreamwave Tag Team Champions, 137 days. The United Glory Tag Team Champions, 213 days. The D6W Tag Team Championship, 403 days. And the WrestleMax Tag Team Championship, 425 days. Wow. I had no idea that's who was jumping in the ring when this match went down live. But that's why we do this too, so that people understand, why these guys are getting picked and where they are, who they are. Yeah. They're not just nobodies off the streets. I was laughing at the premiere putting on tag ropes. I guess it's team versus team with one sitting out. The last 2 matches had too many changes. This one has a ton of changes also. Those tag ropes are never mentioned by WWE or AEW ever. I just wanted to mention that. No one ever mentioned those little tag ropes. Young, Dumb, and Price were not fighting for quite a few minutes. They finally enter, then back out a few minutes later. I felt like this was really just about putting over the new guys in the premiere. The finish here, Oliver assisted Price with a blockbuster. They both roll up one of the guys from the premiere for 3. Apologies, I don't know which gentleman it was. Our winner here, and still GCW Tag Team Champions, Young, Dumb, and Price. Yeah, I don't see those championships coming off them for the long haul. And like I said, looking at what they got available,
I mean,
this is our team.
It was a good tag team match. It was, but I don't want to say nothing to write home about, but it was good. It was there.
I like to see it. It was just we had 2 surprise style matches back to back, and it was it threw off the energy. Maybe that's the way.
Usually you have, when I'm at a show, I've always screen cap the poster that Brett puts out that day and say, okay, and mentally cross off what I've seen already. So we know. So when you get down to the back half of the card, you say, okay, I know that we have XYZ and, A left. I'm like, okay, well, I could pretty much figure out the order of this. So we can sit here like, okay, this is going to be where I get my beer and this is blah, blah, blah. And when you have extra matches like that, it just kind of, throws off that rhythm.
Very good. New guys versus Hardys. Wow.
I'm going to have to look that one up.
Reed, good call there. Great one says, speaking of Glory Pro, I'm pretty sure they get the credit for whose wrestling license was used to put on the show. Thank you, Glory Pro.
Glory Pro was on the poster. So it was Glory Pro presenting GCW. If you ever look at a show poster and says, who's this other company? It's always like, they're renting a license from a different Fed or something like that.
Commission folks usually don't show up till almost last minute and then whip out their dicks and scream, look. That sounds like a state worker if I've ever heard one. Bring MVP for another GCW show. Is he still wrestling? I think he's doing a light amount, right?
I don't know.
Or no?
I'm not sure.
I'm not against it because he had a pretty good showing at Bloodsport. So we'll see what happens there. I mean, that might be the place for him, is over on Bloodsport.
I mean, honestly, I think Bloodsport might, I don't want to say easier, but like, they're not.
No, it's easier. It's
not
easier.
Bumping
like
as much. They're just chain wrestling, really.
Yeah. And that's why I was always saying, I think for wrestlers that are aging, this is the perfect place for them. Instead of having to come off the top rope, or if your ankles are shot, there's no top rope to come off of. There's no diving or jumping that you have to do. It's all mat work, which means that this could extend the career of many wrestlers well beyond where they normally could have. And that means an additional 5+ years of seeing a wrestler we probably would not have seen anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at that aspect. I look at the fact that that's more paycheck for the wrestlers if they can get themselves kind of pigeonholed into that. We'll see what happens, though. Yeah, he said, I feel that Bloodsport with Josh was one and done.
That might be that, like I want to go out there and get my name on one of these and be done with it. Like, somebody from TV going down and doing ECW once or twice.
There we go, Frank. Who would you say would be worthy of holding the next GCW championship belt?
Allie. Allie, when she comes back, I think just having Allie debut as like some mystery opponent and just taking it off of Effy right then and there. I think that's the story that's been building in the background through her injury. It's just like, she was supposed to be the one, and then she got injured, and I think that's the logical. We're just coming off of a face champion who's slowly graying to heel as we're watching him, and I think Allie was supposed to be the heel through all of the Effy and Allie stuff because she was the righteous heel, and Effy was just the what did I do? I'm perfect face, and they sort of swapped. And I think the injury when everybody was like being sincere after the injury, and I think in reality people were being sincere, and then that bled over back into the kayfabe of like, oh, okay, Allie's Allie's the one who could do no wrong because she's coming off of an injury now.
Yep. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Allie comes back, blames the break on Effy. And he's like, it's all your fault. And then Effy needs to come back with a shirt that says it's not my fault. It's money. It's money. It's not my fault. Not guilty.
I get more t-shirts.
Make that money. Let's see. Allie's been out since January. I think it's about time. 6 months, I think, was the timetable. I mean,
she
was moving around in Las Vegas. I'll tell you that much.
Have her come out at Homecoming. That's like a perfect Homecoming storyline.
Yeah. Maybe that's where it goes down.
Allie and Effy in Atlantic City.
Stitsky was what I was thinking. It ain't my fault.
Allie versus Effy at Homecoming for the belt. That's a beautiful buttoned up match right there. So it
needs a story. It needs a story. I want more emotional investment than just these are two friends. I really do need back and forth here. And we were saying before when these two were going at it, we were hoping that they'd start digging into their secrets kind of thing. And, I can't believe you said this.
Like the Sunday after
lightly.
War Games, they were doing that. They were starting to do that where Allie was doing that, righteous, fuck you, I know where your bodies are buried type thing. So,
yeah. Let's see here. Megan Bain still got the Rumble cash in. We're fortunate to still have Bain right now.
Yeah, there's too many. We have too many. Like we have Cole with the brass ring. We have
Janela still needs
Yeah, like there's backburner. I mean, Cole's had his brass ring for what, 2 years now?
Yeah, he's been.
I know he's been injured for a portion of that, but
yeah, dude, no, he's held it. Okay, so it was a year, like 4, 5, 6 months ago. I think I remember talking to Great One about this. Yeah. Effy versus Microman party. Okay, WWE, I love you. I love how you're thinking. I'm a big Microman fan also. The sicko in me wants to see Microman take the GCW World Championship, not only for headlines, but the fact that if you really pay attention, Microman has had some very good matches with a lot of these wrestlers, and that hinges on their opponent's creativity.
Remember when
I've noticed is
he had WLC versus Brandon Kirk.
Yep.
So
yeah, see that her AEW spots kind of. He won it collective, so it's been a year and like 4 months. Ultraviolent Microman. I still think the coolest thing would be to Big Vin to come out and he could be Mick Roman, Microman's cousin.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
One little guy, one big guy, dude. Yeah. Microman and Mick Roman.
Mick Roman. Oh my.
I've never told you this before.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, so Microman be like, you keep fucking with me, you're going to meet my big brother or my cousin. And then here comes with the mask, Big Vin, Mick Roman. Oh, don't boo me. I think it's
boo.
Also, I'm the one that also said we need to have Sam, Microman, and KJ all on a team together, and they could be all 3 different sizes. And like Microman comes out and fights first, and then he rolls under the ring, and out comes KJ. Like he like Pokemon kind of evolving, and then eventually KJ goes under, and out comes Sam. You know what I mean? Dude, it's like Bugs Bunny where he painted the elephants and the like the mouse comes out
yeah.
around the yeah, dude, it's fantastic. Not against this one too, Gringo Loco.
No,
He's put in some serious work. I'm not against having him he can carry a fucking title. That's for sure.
he has. I think he currently is a champion somewhere. It's like
Yeah.
not. I don't want to say
I don't.
Dreamwave.
I need to start keeping up some of my notes and shit because that would have been I should have looked that one up. That's embarrassing.
Anyway.
I was just talking to him the other day. I just got a new Department 50. I got another new mini house. It's badass. No, it's a diner. It's kick ass. We won't get into that too much. Bring Rhino to GC.
That's a lore drop for us right there.
That's true. Let's see. Desperados could be tag champs.
That's a really good point that I didn't even think of. Like, no shade on Gringo and Autos, but like, yeah, they could definitely carry the tag team belts.
I'll just put it up again just because I strongly support it. As soon as we have a chance down the road, that would be a great team as our next ones. And they're higher profile. They're a little older, more mature, which means they would give it just a little more prestige. And I'm not against that also. So, you know, every title holder will bring their own flavor. I'm definitely into whatever the Desperados could bring to that run. Yeah, this Rhino to GCW would be cool. Got to see him locally out here before.
He popped up at the Detroit show, I believe.
Yeah, he's local Detroit.
So like, I don't see him traveling as like a full timer, but I definitely see him popping up like, like, oh, they're in town, bring in Rhino type thing.
That's what happened at a local show out here. He's like, do you guys have a place for me to maybe get a shower afterwards? He's like, yeah. He's like, let's go then. Out he went, and they had an ECW style brawl with like a local at FSW at the Vegas show here. Yeah, he said we've had Rhino a couple times, so I'm not against that. Again, any of the old ECW faces that is still alive or can still move, we'll take any of those because we're kind of running low on ECW people. You know what I mean?
And that big stock of the roster of guys who could hardcore or deathmatch have been kind of picked clean recently. So Manser's a part-timer now. Like Manser was every show like clockwork. He was doing something wild and getting his tongue stapled to a door, and now he's on TV. So like, I mean, good on Mance, good on SDL. Make your money. Like I can't complain about that. But it's just GCW has just been kind of, I don't want to say twisting in the wind, but we have been just, the cards have been worse off for them not being here.
Yeah. Well, I'll say with Mance's situation too, I'm really happy that he put down probably one of the better storylines that he's going to see in his career before he kind of slowly moved one foot out the door here. CMLL Mystico and GCW would be epic. Okay, so here's another thing. I'm a big fan of the Mexican wrestlers. I love Lucha. Anytime we can get more Lucha here is great because I like tag matches with Lucha. I like scramble Lucha. And man, Mexico Tough means something. These guys will throw themselves. I mean, Ciclope, Mexican Tough, bro. You cannot hold him down. Gone. And
not yet.
Thankful for God bless that. Thankful for that. He's irreplaceable. He's a flavor of Jello we can't find everywhere. That's for sure. Yeah, I think we could probably go into the next match here, match 7. We'll do that now. We'll go ahead in here.
Too Cold.
Yeah, GCW World Championship, Effy versus Too Cold Scorpio. Something I'm a big fan of are accolades. Emma went down Too Cold's accolades in his announcement. We didn't know if we'd see Too Cold again. Here he is. He looks in great shape for multiple reasons. I just really tried to enjoy this match. The last match he had at GCW, luckily, me and my crew were front row in LA to see. After that, charges got brought up less than a month or so later there. So yeah, we really did think, I really thought that the first and last time I saw him live was it. And at this point, it may still be it. Hopefully he shows up on an LA show, but yeah, if you can, just please, enjoy him as much as you can. Cause I had him counted and gone. Yeah. This was Scorpio's 19th match at GCW. The last time he wrestled for GCW, again, like I said, was in LA. That was against Joey Janela on April 20th. Holy mackerel. What a night that was. 420 in LA. This was Effy's 23rd title defense in only 155 days. In this match, Effy pulled out all his big hits, the Tarantula, Under the Rainbow, the Effy Rooney, Super Sack Rider, and more. Scorpio did the same. We saw the classic somersault leg drop. Scorpio also points to the sky as a Sabu homage mid-match. Then he hits the air Sabu in the corner. Thank you for that one, Frank. Effy almost got his neck taken out by the bottom rope when he fell out of the ring. If you ever had a chance to see that, it did not look good. Luckily, he turned to the right a little bit. We have our first door of the night, and we now have 2 chairs. A door bridge was being built by Effy, which was built perfectly. I don't know if you're one of those people that like things straight or like things a certain way, but man, I don't know what it is, but wrestlers can't build a door bridge that don't fall half the time. I don't know what it is. Maybe they're
usually what happens is when they put the door on the chair, they put the chairs too close to each other, so it's not on the flat of the chair; it's on that slanted back, so it always off kilters. And
now either it's a pain in the ass to make one, or wrestlers just have a hard time building them. I don't know.
It could be the traumatic brain injury that they're literally currently going through that while they build it too. So,
I mean, respectfully, it could be they just went 8 minutes, 9 minutes flat in a match and they're winded and they just don't feel like picking a fucking door up. You know what I mean?
Great one saying that the white inked chairs are also curved, but they should be using the black metal ones. Like usually I've not seen them build a bridge with white plastic chairs in a minute. Usually they at least get the good black chairs. So
yeah, that's some backyard stuff there when you start getting those. That's like, yeah.
When you're not using the black ones and you're using the white garden party chairs, you know you're in trouble.
Yeah, when you're using like your grandma's like plastic white chairs, it's over. It's over.
I call those the catering chairs. Those ones suck. The plastic and white metal catering chairs.
Fuck those chairs.
As a fat guy, fuck those chairs.
Fuck those plastic ass chairs. When they hit the Las Vegas heat, they're bendy. And I sat in one time, and like one of the legs just flat bent, and I'm like, okay, that chair was obviously hot. And my wife is like, okay, you're just obviously fat. So it is what it is. Yeah, he said those chairs hurt. I got hit by one.
Let me know when you find a chair that doesn't hurt to get hit by.
I'll tell you what, those fucking LA chairs fucking hurt. Stackhouse will tell you that for sure. He said when KJ hit him the first time with that chair, he's like in his head, he said, was that one of the UCC
venue chairs?
Yeah.
Okay.
KJ tried to smack the shit out of Sam the first night he turned with one of those chairs. And Sam told me later, he's like, I wish I didn't even agree to that. He said those chairs are so hard. I thought he gimmicked it.
Those are like the AC venue chairs, the showboat venue chairs.
Yeah. Oh, like, dude, you can run one over.
Beastman hucked one of those when he fell on his entrance at COS.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing just kept its shape perfectly.
And I'm gonna also shout out a friend of mine, Bobby Banks, who also spreads the good word of the Chattanooga library chairs.
I like Bobby. Bobby's awesome.
So
we got Dr. Redacted. Yeah, I got a Dr. Redacted shirt that just came in the mail a while ago. I was trying to get one of his newer designs and it wasn't out there. My wife liked this one. I like this one. We're like, boom.
I have I wore the Cactus Jack Redacted shirt last week, 2 weeks ago. So
man, that's still such a cool picture where Cactus is like putting a swab on Dr. Redacted's like forehead, trying to help him clean up with the blood. I thought that was pretty cool. Great one said, I'll be testing the Chattanooga chairs next month. Tell us how it feels afterwards, dude. I'm guessing those chairs are probably pretty fucking hard too.
They're like literally like 80s like library media center chairs, and they do not bend.
Dude, I thought this was a big guy thing when I went to LA. I'm like, man, my tailbone's starting to hurt on these chairs. And then there's like people half my size going, man, my tailbone's starting to hurt on these. Dude, they're vicious. Buy a shirt just as a pad just to put down on the chair.
Bring one of those long-term road trip butt pads. One of those tailbone pads.
I got hit in the head at the GCW AZ show. Yes, I love it. Oh wait, they have rocking chairs?
I think they're just the chairs that have that do that tilting thing where the back of it just like tilts ever so slightly.
Oh. Yeah, AZ, those are crazy. They have these weird tilty chairs. You've been there, right?
Once, and I don't vaguely remember it.
When you and Mance went there, remember? It was like those chairs, dude, I felt like I was gonna fall out the back because I'm a big guy. I'm like, dude, this chair's not gonna hold me. And then my son is like 325, 340, and I'm like, dude, he's not gonna hold. And it held. So I don't know. Anyway, I'll go to the finish here. Effy suplexes Too Cold Scorpio through the door bridge and covers for 3. Our winner and still the GCW World Champion, Effy. After this match here, Effy leaves. Scorpio is in the ring. Fans are chanting his name. I just put what a night. You know, Scorpio's getting his kudos here. I'm not against that. You know, the man deserves to at least get one more time in the ring if something does happen to him, Lord forbid. And yeah, I think we'll see what happens. But yeah, we're looking forward to hopefully Scorpio keeps coming back to GCW as much as possible.
He never puts on a bad match. It's always just
fuck no.
It's not even like, you know, like the nostalgia matches. They're just good matches too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, especially dude. And if you're a fan of his from back in the day, to see that he's capable of doing some of the stuff he used to do at a young age that was just fantastic, like that somersault and shit. Yeah, man. Yeah, just for nostalgia value alone. Plus, a lot of the guys are around our age, younger, older a little bit. They know exactly who Too Cold is. You know. Let's see here. Gee, you guys coming to Arizona? I think B's looking at it. I might be doing Arizona and LA. So it might be Vegas to Arizona to LA, back to Vegas. It's a triangle and a half. It's like 5.5 hours from Vegas to Arizona, 6 hours from Arizona to LA, and then 4.5 to 5 hours LA to Vegas. So that's like
5 hours from Jersey to Arizona on a flight. So yeah, no, sorry. I've done Arizona once, and I got my money's worth when I went to Phoenix the first time. So
I'll tell you what though, man, you saw it firsthand. Then that Arizona crowd's pretty damn good.
They were insane, and I can't wait to see how the within these walls crowd reacts to that.
Have you been to LA then?
No, I haven't been to LA yet.
LA. Okay, Arizona. LA is Arizona times 3 because the crowd is obviously bigger. And the crowd comes with it. I mean, the noise comes with it. Sorry. So I mean, if you know, 800 to 1,000 plus strong at the UCC, just screaming their fucking heads off, drunk, having a dude. It's a party. I love that. I can't wait.
Listen, I've already got all of Frankie and those guys from the front row in LA waiting for me to make my way over there. It's just a when these days. It's not an if, it's a when. But
well, that's where it's at now. I got a whole slew of East Coast that are like, John, you got to come out, and you got a whole slew of West Coast going, Frankie, you got to come out here, man. Dude, that's awesome. Let's see here. Wow, we already got into almost our main event. I almost feel like this is a co-main event, but we'll see what happens here. For the GCW Ultraviolent Championship, we have champion Matt Tremont going up against Too Tough Tony. Stop right there. I've waited this long to say it. Next week, July 1st, our interview will be with Too Tough Tony. We're going to have him on. We're going to talk to him. He just got that recent Hall of Fame. It was one of those things where it was a no-brainer. I had a chance to talk with him in Vegas for a short amount of time, put a big impression on me. He's a nice guy. Frankie, you talked to him also, right?
I talked to him a couple of times just in passing because like the Showboat is a small venue and you see people a lot. And I was just said hey to him a couple of times and we were BSing about like the flash drives and like these little guys that he was handing out with the rest of the JCW crew with a mixtape of a bunch of great matches on these. So
hell yeah. Thanks for sharing that too. I appreciate that. I haven't went through the matches.
It's a huge file. It's like 3.5 hours of matches. So I haven't even watched the whole thing. I've scrubbed through it. And I've seen some, and Cardona versus Gage is on that flash drive. So
they actually went through and kind of cultivated
yes, they
stuff. Did.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, Too Tough's going to be on here. We had a good time talking to him. I had a good time talking to him behind the scenes. Nice guy. It's going to be a blast. We're going to sit down for an hour or two, bullshit. I'm going to try to dig out what I can. You guys know a decent amount of more of the fun questions. We're going to dig into his history and see what we can get, man. The man deserves a lot of respect. He's been working his ass off for a long time. You know, fellow redneck, my kind of people. It's going to be fun. Okay, so yes, here, let's go into this match. Our poll from the fans, 93% chance that Matt Tremont was going to keep this title here. I was really surprised by how high, but hey, let's do it. The music starts and Tony starts pouring lemon Bacardi down everyone's throat. They love him. We're also big fans. Frank, what's your thoughts on Tony coming around there pouring drinks down everyone's throats at the AC?
How can you say no to that? Like it's
right. It's lemon Bacardi too, isn't it?
It's lemon Bacardi. It's like, I mean, how like if it's you just stand there like, oh, okay, I'll take a prison. I'll take a prison shot, like just standing in the front row. It's like, oh, yeah. And let's be honest, alcohol makes wrestling better all the time. Like,
Also, it's cool that if you paid the money for front row, he gives you a little drink. I mean, catch a little buzz. Fuck yeah. Yeah, Reed said here, let's discover the real Tony. We're going to do our best. You know how we do with interviews. We're going to do everything we can to uncover as much as we can. I take it as long as I can without, the interview passing out on me because, we go late. But having a 10 o'clock start time instead of 11 also is going to be really helpful here. You agree too. This is a little late for you.
Now that it's only 1:45, I'm like, oh, I can go all day now. Like starting at 11 was the killer for me.
Yeah, that's not easy. All right, so Tremont comes out next. Everyone's singing Journey. This is his 13th title defense in 155 days. Tremont throws his title in the ring and Tony steals it. Tony gives everyone the middle finger, doing his best to piss off the crowd. I notice he has good heat when he wants it. That's a veteran for you. The bell rings and Tremont says, Kansas City, get the fuck up. And that was the shot of adrenaline they needed. Fans are rattling the barricades. I'm sorry, but if you have a state where you have to deal with barricades, use them for that reason alone. Fuck it. Fans want blood, and they seriously came alive for this match. I recommend, man, pound the shit out of those barricades. They're metal. They make noise, ROH style. Fucking pound the shit out of something if you have to.
More people should be using the ROH like metal plate on top of a bike rack barricades.
Oh, why we aren't using it for the times that we have to have?
Because they probably can't find them, because I think ROH had them themselves, because bike racks
it's a metal sign with some O-rings. You just hook them on, and if you really needed to, you could get somebody to make them for you for dirt cheap. All right, so chairs are swinging. Tony planted one right across Tremont's neck and chest. We're going ultra-violent here. Tremont was swinging a crutch from the fans. Doors are now coming out. Poof, the Black Abdullah appears. Matt pulls out the fork. Tony stole the fork and threw it away. Fans really did not like that. Matt has Tony on his shoulders. He reverses it, and then they fight with a flimsy door. Tony goes up, grabs Tremont, and hits a huge superplex onto that door bridge below. These two old dogs are forehead to forehead barking at each other. This is a beautiful thing for fellow wrestling historians. Mickey comes out to interfere. Mickey and Tony are pissing off the crowd together. Fans are chanting for Masha. We have "fuck this bitch" chants from the crowd. I like that.
That's a chant you do not expect from a first-time crowd.
Fuck it. That's what I like about it. I like chants like this. It's a little more raw. Tony loads up the flaming meteorite and Masha comes in for the save. Our finish here, Tony and Tremont are brawling around the outside of the ring. They battle to the back. There was no winner here. It kind of got called off as a no contest.
Yeah.
And that's when Mickey and Masha start to face off. And I'm going, okay, are they seamlessly going to kind of just go right into the main event here?
Neville didn't even get up from the commentary desk, and he just called it right from the desk. He said, your main event, Masha versus Mickey. Let's go. Ding, ding.
I like that. I really do. Something about it feels organic. I don't know. It feels GCW. It's the seamlessness of it. Works brilliantly. Something about it feels good. I don't know. But yeah, Max Recon slides into the ring, signals for the bell. Emil makes the announcements, and we are on for our main event. So for our main event, the JCW World Champion, Masha Slamovich, has to defend her title against Mickey Knuckles. For me, this was a matchup I just was looking forward to for a long time. I'm a fan of Mickey. I've been watching her for 20 years, probably, across IWA, you name it. She's been there and done it.
She's not a stranger to H2O, so like Jersey's not.
Oh, hell no.
Jersey knows who Mickey Knuckles is. So I mean,
yeah. So I took a poll here with the fans. 82% of the fans sided with Masha Slamovich for the win in this one here. Let's be careful. First of all, Mickey Knuckles is fucking tough. And if she was booked as the veteran she is, this would be a legit issue between her and Masha, because Mickey should be a legitimate threat. It's just, looking at it the way it should be here. Disappointed we didn't get a Foxcatcher video package for Mickey. Imagine how hard she would have fought if there was $10,000 on the line.
That's what makes me think that that's exclusively for the JCW shows. So
I like that, because that gives JCW a little identity, and it gives a little more something to chew on with Masha here, who we feel booking needs to do something with.
Yeah.
Mickey and Masha got vicious early. Chairs were swinging. My hope in this match, Mickey's booked as she truly is, a 21-year veteran, 20-time champion, a woman amongst men. Mickey has done and seen everything. Nothing makes her flinch. Also, Mickey is what GCW was in 2019. I feel we need Mickey. I wouldn't hate her getting a small UV run after Tremont, just because she deserves the stage and would work for every minute that you pay her for. Masha threw Mickey into a door and it snapped in some crazy way. People online were playing replays of it. Mickey eating door shots straight to the head. Fans are starting with the "This is awesome" chant. One of the more difficult.
Here we go again.
Oh my goodness, it happened again. I actually hit the button while I was doing my thing, and
shame on you, John.
Wow. You know what's funny though, is if you've watched for the last 3 years, that's something that rarely happens. I rarely ever do a kick out like that. I don't know. Yeah, Masha and Maki, if only.
Mickey.
Masha and Mickey got vicious early here. Masha threw Mickey into a door and it snapped, blah, blah, blah. There's something I've already said. So one of the more difficult things to watch in this match was Masha suplexing Mickey on the steps. I don't know if you've ever fallen or hit some steps before, but those steps were sharp and they hurt like hell. We had a Masha Mickey sit down bar fight. Loved that. Mickey missed with her battle axe. Masha puts her through a door. There's 4 chairs set up. Mickey hits a pump handle slam on Masha, and the chairs didn't bend. That's a physics thing. I was calling for the psycho driver out loud.
It was not a true ultraviolent dance floor because there was only 4 chairs, not 6 chairs.
I was hoping. I thought maybe it was 4 because they were females. You know what I mean? Like, nope, 4 it was. Masha superplexes Mickey through the door. Mid-match, Too Tough Tony and Matt Tremont are still brawling around ringside again. I love that. They fight to the back shortly after that. I'm almost hoping they come out again for comedic value, like a third time they come back out and fight.
I just want them to brawl into a random show next week or the week after. They're still going.
So that's something we talked about before. So there was a classic match. I think it was like in the 60s or the 1970s, where 2 guys were fighting. They fought to the back. The match, like the show was over, the match and the show. Well, the show opened next week. They had like 2 matches, and then you literally see both guys from the last week fight back into so it was like they fought from like Birmingham.
That's like a Chikara. That's like a Chikara bit that they've done a couple times too, where like they just fight out.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go into our finish here. Mickey has a microphone. She takes the GCW logo off. Masha wraps the cord around Mickey's throat.
I'm
Mickey
glad they called that out too.
What's that? The fact that she took the GCW thing off there? He
took the flag off, yeah.
Let's see here. Let's go ahead and go after this because there was chaos after this match. Masha was choking Mickey after the match. Too Tough Tony comes out and punches Masha. Out comes Tremont. I was hoping their match continued. It would have been new, kind of. Tremont was choking Too Tough. Out comes Willie Mack. Willie is stomping on Tremont. Janela and Lloyd then come out and they suplex Willie. Pondo then comes out. He's making everyone kiss his stop sign. Effy and Young, Dumb, and Price come out next, and we have a huge scrap 1980s style. JCW finally runs off, and GCW wrestlers stand tall. JCW is outside the ring throwing chairs at the GCW wrestlers in the ring. I felt here, great story. I wrote more Mickey at GCW. Without regulations, I would have actually flipped these matches. Tremont would have went last. Almost both matches could have been way bloodier if allowed. I also wrote all 4 wrestlers that adjusted did a great job in doing so. There were 2 classic matchups never seen before. The only way to make it better is to put them in a state with all of the restrictions gone.
I definitely agree with you flipping the last 2. I think that the JCW should have gone on second to last, and I think the hardcore should have gone on last. Also,
that spillage from all the wrestlers would have just kind of it just worked. But same here, we protected Too Tough Tony and Tremont.
You can still call it off with just a bigger schmoz at the end instead of.
Yep.
So
there we go. Jervis and Dick Justice fought for over a year. If Juggalo ever comes roster strong, GCW would be destroyed. So it's interesting. I would actually say when it comes down to the 2 pound for pound, year for year, JCW actually, I think, has more experienced wrestlers.
Yeah.
The Brothers of Funstruction, off the top of my head, I think they were 20 and 21 years each, individually, respectively. Mickey was 21 years. I think Too Tough Tony was 29. So between Too Tough Tony and Mickey alone was 50 years.
God bless.
Yeah. Hell, what the hell are you going to do with that? You know, we have over here, we have Effy. He's at 11 years. Mance Warner, he's a decade plus.
Joey's at like 15 or so.
Yeah. Joey's running 10 plus. Yeah. So, I mean, it's hard to beat that, but yeah, I had no idea the Brothers of Funstruction have been around for two fucking decades until I saw it for myself on paper. Anything on this one? I mean, I love the spill out. I love the JCW presence here. I'm still a fan of maybe putting more juggalos in the crowd and then multiplying them over time.
Yeah, I ever since you said that, I completely agree with that statement. And it like I said, there was 2 juggalos that showed up to that Sunday after COS. I mean, after War Games, and we thought they were planned, but they know they were just fans. So
yeah. Man, oh man. So anything else that you wanted to talk about at the end of this match or the end of this card before we close this one out?
We got everything really as we were going through it all, and everything I was going to say, like, we're so in sync that everything I would have said, you cleared it up through your write-up already. So
man, oh man.
Yeah.
Well, that means that GCW is doing a great job conveying a message and we're both paying attention and picking it up. You know, common sense, we should be mostly on the same page outside of some opinions. And, you know, let's see here real quick then. Okay, so I'll go ahead and close that out and say that was GCW's Take a Picture from the Truman in Kansas City, Missouri. I'll go into a little summary and breakdown. I've been doing this lately. I think it's been kind of fun. So here's what's happened this weekend. We had a debuting K-Toomer, a debut new tag team of Buck Nasty. That's Rob Shit, Buck Skinner. We had a debut by Buck Skinner. Young, Dumb, and Price logged their 8th title defense win and says they're going to shake up the tag division. The entire KJ Orso, Sam Stackhouse saga leading up to an I Quit match. We saw Blake Christian's return this weekend. Elayna Black's return with a statement match, making her point. We had Mike Jackson challenging for the GCW championship. That's pretty wild. Atticus versus Shotzi. Shotzi's claim to being the true indie god. Lloyd and Cardona moving another inch forward with a quick match, setting up a match in Dallas. 2 Cold Scorpios return. 2 classic hardcore matches between Tremont and Too Tough, 22 years in the making, and Masha and Mickey. I think both still have more in the tank here.
I can see rematches of both of those at Gathering.
I hope so. I think that's what this is all leading up to. Those are probably going to be the co-mains.
Yeah.
You know, and then, yeah, the last thing was the GCW JCW rivalry. We really covered all of that. That all happened this weekend. So if somebody wanted to really watch our show and save 3 hours, you could literally just listen to that little chunk right there, I think. But I think it's more fun to talk about it. All right, so then we'll go up to our upcoming shows. Tuesday, July 1st, we will host an interview again with Too Tough Tony. That will be next week at this time, starting at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Thursday, June 26th, GCW Wrestling Superstars will be at Coney Island. Joey Janela will be throwing out the first pitch. You can also meet some GCW wrestlers out there. And then
they just put out a video today about that.
Yeah, just something really quick. I'll only mention it because it's the next true GCW show. That's on Friday, July 4th. GCW's Backyard Wrestling 7 from Backyard USA. Dummy me, I still didn't get the graphic okayed. I've been sitting on the graphic for Backyard Wrestling for like a week and a half. Sorry, guys. I'll get it out there soon. This will be live on Triller Plus at the 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific start time, which for on the West Coast, that means I get to watch the show for all my family shows up for fireworks and food. So that's kind of a win there for me.
And I'll see if you know, I hear through the wind, if I hear Matt slamming somewhere in the Northeast in Backyard USA. So
I'm looking forward to it. Little disappointed though that we haven't heard any matches yet when it comes to that. And my dumbass, I probably should have asked. I probably could have had a match or two for tonight.
I think me and Ash had the same thought about Shotzi put out a match graphic about her upcoming schedule, and mysteriously she mentions New Jersey on the 4th of July. So maybe we see a return to the Pizza Cat.
So we were talking. Yep. See.
Yeah.
Great One says, "I'm sure." When Great One's sure, it's a pretty safe bet. He doesn't go on.
Possibly see Pizza Cat versus Pizza Cat Jr.
Boom. I think that's what's going to happen. Elayna's also a badass. I'd like to see her more at GCW. When we can get her flown across halfway across the world, you know, but we'll see. Anything else you wanted to mention about this weekend before I go into our last little thing here?
I've already talked too much. We've been on this for 3 hours.
Dude, it's fucking awesome. I love it. Okay, well, I'll just say first up, thanks everybody for jumping in tonight. We had another good night. This went 3 hours. That sounds more like the way it should be. Sorry if you like short shows.
Yeah.
It's hey, at least we have something to talk about though. I'll put it that much. Let's see here. All right, then we'll just get rolling here. Again, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell if you want notified when we go live next time. We do prefer watching live on YouTube. This is the best place for interaction. Super chats are available if you want to donate. Thanks again for those who donated last week. Again, comment if you have a chance. It's free. It kind of helps our, algorithm rolling. We're trying to do a good thing here. Thank you. You can find Frankie at Frankie_GCW World. You can find me on Twitter at GC World Podcast. Follow GCW on all socials, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Head to Long Live GCW to check out GCW's official website. Not a lot of people know about that. They keep the calendar.
There's actually a website now besides the merch site.
Yeah. So if you get a chance, maybe just check that out for fun. Go to gcwmerch.com if you want some new hats, shirts, hoodies, pins, stickers, and more. Check out GCW on Patreon. We have a podcast with Brett called The History of GCW, where we dive back into a GCW show from years ago and discuss never before told stories from that night. As always, thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with us tonight. Frankie and I are so thankful that you spent it with us here. At this point anymore, we're just all becoming friends. So I'm really happy that we spent some time together, friends. I'm hoping that people in chat eventually kind of connect with each other. We all kind of have the same thing in common, and building community was something that was very important to us from the beginning. So thank you so much. We will see you next week. Frankie, as always, long. We live. Oh, that was good.
Oh,
GCW. All right, everybody. Have a great night, and we love you.